Manhattan Community Board 4, Business Licenses and Permits Committee. We meet and we make our recommendations to the full board, and then they will send them on, or revise them or accept them, and send them on to either the state liquor authority for the licenses sprayed out, or for the sidewalk cafes or the street sheds. That goes to the Department of Transportation. We have a hybrid policy for our meetings. Board members are expected to attend in person. And to date, our quorum is counted only among the people who are here physically. We also have board members for various reasons on Zoom. And we have the members of the community and the applicants on Zoom. We meet in a room that's not expansive, so we encourage people, you don't have to be here physically to attend on Zoom. We'll also have this meeting on our YouTube channel, so you can watch that and the transcripts, which are being recorded forever and ever and ever. If you really like the meeting, you can return to it as many times as you want.
Hi, I'm Frank Alzubiak, the other co-chair. Why don't we go around the room first and everyone introduce themselves?
Okay, I'm Bert Lazarus, the other co-chair. And go ahead.
Ivchenko, member. Andy Stewart, member. Tina Nelson, member. Wendy Gonzalez, member.
Alan Oster, member. James McDonald, member.
Christine Bertini, member.
Jesse Greenwald, member.
Okay, and before we,
Wait, online?
oh yes,
Carrie Keenan, member.
Mike Noble, member.
anybody else online? That's it? Okay. Before we start the meeting, I would like to inform everybody, that's the verb. Some of you may be aware, others not, that I am not continuing with Committee Board 4. Moving in life,
These
changing.
are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs.
Can we please mute ourselves?
We continue.
Because it's Fox News.
You can mute that.
Fox News?
Yeah.
How did we get Fox News?
It's Barry.
Oh, it's Barry Fox.
Barry
Okay.
Fox, please. Oh, okay, done.
Okay, I figure 20 years is enough. I don't know if that's the right word. I've enjoyed my 20 years, though there's been a lot of stress. And not everything has been by consensus. We've had a lot of conflicts. I've gone, besides being board chair, first vice chair, second vice chair, secretary. I was secretary for 2 years or 3 years. And I probably was the last secretary that actually used my pen and wrote down. Didn't have a laptop in those days. So this probably is gonna be my last meeting as co-chair. It depends when the borough president appoints the new people, but if I come back in May, we have a new co-chair.
Which is Wendy.
Wendy, would you like to say something, Wendy?
Sure. Well, first of all, when I joined the board, you were the chair, and we're always so welcoming. And Frank has been so welcoming on the VLP. I've been on the VLP my whole time on the board, and I've enjoyed so much of the ups and downs of navigating, bringing in new businesses while also acknowledging the needs of the community. And it's been a lot of fun. So excited to step into this new role. Very appreciative of the opportunity. Looking forward to continuing working with all of you.
Great.
And I just wanted to acknowledge all the work's Bert done, not just on this committee, for the community board, As he said, he was chair of the entire board for a couple of years, and then in what can only be an act of masochism, decided to come back and co-chair VLP after he stepped down as chair of the board. But it's been terrific to work together, and I think we'll all miss him. And just for a little more housekeeping, agenda item 6, 453 West 17th Street has been withdrawn, so that will not be heard tonight.
That's good news.
Yes, this committee makes recommendations to the full board, which will take its own vote on these items at its meeting on May 7th. So this is only one step in the process. I want to point out to everyone that we have 30 agenda items tonight, which is a massive agenda. So ask everyone, applicants as well as members of the public, to be as brief as possible and in any comments and presentations you make. And for members of the public, if what you're saying is repetitious of what someone else has said, please just say you join in the comments that have been heard so far.
Yeah.
And the way it will work is Bert will call the agenda items. When an item is called, if you want to be heard on that item, please use the raise hand function. When that item is called, you'll be moved into the full meeting at an appropriate time so you can address the committee.
And before we start, just want to point out that on our agenda, of the 31 items on the agenda, only 7 are traditional liquor license committee applications. All the rest are street sheds, roadway sheds as they call them, or sidewalk cafes. So let's start with the new wine, beer, and cider license applications. Item number 1, 744 9th Avenue. Is the applicant here? Mike Kelly?
No, Mike Kelly's on this.
Yes, hello.
Okay.
Rob
Hi.
Holman at Kelly's office. How you doing?
How you doing? So tell us
So,
about the application.
all right. So this is a roadway or restaurant wine application for PRILUPI Corp, DBA Pasta Eater and Go. We're located at 744 9th Avenue between West 50th Street and West 51st Street. We're a full-service Italian restaurant specializing in pasta. The space was formerly occupied by Nilor Grill. They had an OP license. We're a small place. We have 8 tables with 26 seats and a service bar. There will be third-party delivery services. There is a bike rack on the block. There is no outdoor seating. Our hours of operation are going to be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. We will have background music, and the owner currently has an OP license at Patio on 182 2nd Avenue, which is open in 2005, and an on-premise license at Pasta Eater at 9 East 17th Street, which opened in 2019. And if you guys have any other questions, I'll feel free to ask.
I don't have any comments on it.
Neither do I. Anybody else on the board? Online? Mike, Karen?
Someone has their hand raised,
And that's from the community?
but it says it was a representative. So.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
you.
okay.
That's you,
Oh,
Robert
okay.
Hall.
Got it, got it.
Robert Hall.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to put it down afterwards.
Okay. Nellie, anybody from the community?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Not eligible, abstaining? Okay, we passed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's keep this momentum going.
Yeah, the next
Please, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
The next group of applications are existing, but they want to change their method of operation. So we have 1 in this category. Number 2 on the agenda, 401 West 54th Street, Virago, by Chef Yala Corp. Okay, they're asking for hours of operation 11 to 12 a.m., 7 days a week.
Good evening,
And this
everyone.
application is,
Tavares,
sidewalk.
what? It's for two things.
Aurelia Tavares here for representative for Virago by Chef Yala. Christina Contreras is the applicant. We met last month again with the community board. And not the community board, with the Block Association, and we talked about some of the issues. And again, summer is here, you know, our businesses are struggling. And you know, this is a very fair application. It's full liquor, midnight closing hours. She's a family woman too. She has children. She wants to get home early. 11:30 last call, maybe even 11:15. And no unusual method of operation, and is a good neighbor. There have been no complaints about the establishment. She has no outdoor dining, and I think that this applicant has come to the well many times to try to get community support, and I think we should support her because, like, not only are we struggling in businesses, but she's hiring locals, she's a family woman, and she's from the neighborhood.
There seems to be a little confusion about whether there's outdoor dining or not, because we did get an application sent on from DOT, you folks wanting a small sidewalk cafe, but I gather you're not pursuing that anymore?
Not at this time until we get this all straightened out. And again, every step we've taken, I'm sorry you don't have my screen. There's something wrong with my camera, or I would be on screen, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for that. Every step is being guided by the community board, so, and the Block Association. So let's say we're going to take baby steps to make sure that you see that what we're presenting here is what it is.
Okay, so you'll need to withdraw the roadway application, but Nellie Gonzalez in the board office can help you explain what you and we need to do there, but we will not be voting on there today because you've withdrawn it, correct?
That's item number 26.
Yeah, okay. So what is before us is an upgrade of their liquor license from wine and beer to full liquor. With that, the 4954 Block Alliance said there were some concerns about a full liquor license, but it looks like they were ultimately okay with it. Maybe they can speak to it. I had a couple questions about music. You circle basically everything. Live music, DJ, karaoke. Can you tell us what they intend to do with respect to music at this location?
I do that in all the applications, just because if someone, let's say a neighbor wants to do a baby shower, or has a baby party, or there's a wedding shower or something, we want to have the ability to do it, and we don't want to have it not comply with the liquor authority mandates, which is if you're going to do it even once, it should be on your liquor license. We could minimize it to once a month, and she wanted, summer's here, people want to hear music, but as you can see, even with the method of operation she has at the establishment, she's not disturbing the neighbors, music is not emanating from the location, it is soundproof, and she keeps her windows closed.
So she has music already?
Well,
She keeps music on, but she
they have a beer and wine license.
So they have live music already? What kind of music?
Yes.
You know, karaoke? What are you doing currently, or have you done?
Can you hear me? She does karaoke, and she does DJ on the weekend, on the evening, but again, 11:30, they're already wrapping up. I don't think we're gonna be bothering her neighbors.
Yeah, so they are
No complaints.
closing at midnight.
Yeah,
So
that's
does
fine.
anyone think we want hour limitations of the music or anything? Okay. That's all I have.
Yeah, and then, like I said, there's been no complaints that we have. That clear, Nellie? No complaints?
I have not received complaints, no.
Okay, thank you. We have one hand up. Andrew, it's Andrew Goldstein.
Yes, we have one hand raised. It's Andrew Goldstein.
Okay. Andrew, join us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Andrew.
Hi, I was at the meeting, the Block Association meeting, and basically, everybody at the meeting really liked the owner, and we were in favor of giving her the 4 a.m. Our concern was really like if down the road we had a 4 a.m.
Andrew, wait a
Wait,
second.
hold
This
on,
is
Andrew.
only, are you talking about 401 West 54th?
Yes, I am.
Okay, they only want midnight.
They didn't
Yeah,
ask
I'm
for
just
4
saying
a.m.
our Block Association supported everything that they asked for. That it was the liquor license that we had a little bit of debate. We felt like the should get the liquor license. We were just concerned down the line there'd be another 4 a.m. That was the debate that we had at the meeting. That's all.
Okay,
But they're not asking for 4 a.m.
they just talked about a future applicant.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very small space. All right,
Okay, anybody from the, no? No,
Motion. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I want to thank
Chris,
you guys for
not
taking, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank you guys for patiently considering this application. I think you'll be very pleased with the applicant. Thank you for giving her an opportunity. This was a
thank you
special
for
applicant.
coming back to see us so often.
No, we got to do what we have to do. Thank you, everyone. I
Okay,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Okay. Our next grouping are new liquor, wine, beer, full license applications. We have 4 of these. Okay, item number 3 on the agenda, 304 West 56th Street, Gray Dog Central Park. Hours of operation proposed 8 a.m. to 12 a.m., 7 days a week. The applicant here, or the lawyer,
This is Robert.
Hello.
Robert Hull again? Hi,
Yep, I'm
Robert.
back.
Okay,
All right. Give me 1 second. So this is an on-premise liquor license application for Gray Dog Central Park Inc., DBA Gray Dog. We originally came before you and were approved on November 14th, 2023. We did not file within the 270-day limit, and we had to re-notify you again. There are no changes to our first application. There are currently 2 other Gray Dogs in Community Board 4. They're located at 242 West 16th Street. It's been open and operating since 2009. And 55 West 26th Street. It's been open and operating since 2019. Both have OP licenses. The owner also has 3 other locations in Community Board 2 with on-premise liquor licenses. The applicant wants to open in the space formerly occupied by Brico, which closed in October 2019 under Brico Corp, my apologies. They had an on-premise liquor license. The premise were also called Brico from at least 2011 to 2017. The space has been unoccupied since, closed 4 years ago. We'll be a full-service Gray Dog restaurant with the same menu as our other locations. We occupy 3 floors. The lower level will be storage, which is considered the cellar. The ground floor, which is technically the basement, will have 22 tables with 50 seats and 15-seat bar. And then the second floor, which is the first story technically, will have 11 tables with 35 seats and a 7-seat bar. Our hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. 7 days a week. We have background music. There won't be any outdoor seating. And like all our other locations, there will be an experienced manager on duty at all times. And the owners, like they did with their other locations that they opened up, will be on site at least 50% of the time. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
I don't have anything.
anybody on the community board? No? Carrie, Mike, any questions? Okay, anybody from the community now?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay, thank you. We have,
Second,
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Person not eligible? Abstaining, okay. You got it. From
All right.
us.
Thank you. See you guys in a little.
Okay, item number 4. Again, this is an application for a new full liquor license. Turnstyle Market, 1000 8th Avenue. Restaurant Bar 321. Okay, they're proposing hours of operation 8 AM to 4 AM, Monday through Saturday, 12 PM to 4 AM on Sunday. That's 4 AM, 7 days a week. Okay?
Oh, wait, there, but that's, that's the applicant.
Yeah,
Good evening. We're the applicant. We're here.
so tell us something
Okay.
about Turnstyle Market.
Yes, we'll give you, we're here. We're prepared to answer any question that you may have. I'm James Wanderstock from Sherry and O'Neill for Restaurantbar321 LLC. I'm here with the applicant, the principal Lori Romanzi, and the manager Tracy Westmoreland. This is a new full liquor license application, and we have provided all of the information that you had requested, and we are here to answer any questions that you may have concerning this applicant.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just a couple, so this is in the whole sort of 59th Street subway stop. The food court down there. So
Right.
you talk about having a outdoor space, which I assume is not really outdoor space. Do you mean it's part of the common area of the?
Correct, on the lower level. It's about 75 square feet.
Okay. And the 4 AM, I assume that's conditioned on the MTA approving it, right?
Correct, absolutely. They have.
We have approved one bar there till 2 AM, but we've never gone as late as 4. I just wanted to note that we got a letter of strong support from Lisa Gaglian, who some of you old timers may know is a former member of this board and the co-chair of this committee. She said she's unable to be here in person, but has known the manager, Tracy Westmoreland, for 25 years. Who's an exceptional operator, honest and above board human, one of the good guys, lives in the neighborhood, owned bars and worked in the community for decades. Including previously run a prior subway station bar, Siberia, which had become legendary. She said it'll add to the sense of security in the Turnstyle Market, and the late hours will help people traveling for shift work, as well as regular New Yorkers coming home after a long day. I don't have anything else.
This is, remember, in a unique space. It's the mezzanine of the Columbus Circle subway station. Christine, you said you had a question?
The question I had was the 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
but you addressed it. I don't know whether
MTA
MTA,
has to approve it.
right.
Any other questions, Carrie, Mike?
I just ask one question, because I
Go ahead,
couldn't find it quickly. This is in this subway, which quite honestly can be great. Because it's quite quiet at 3 AM and 2 AM. But I don't see the menu. Is there some sort of?
We have a menu.
What?
Yeah,
We have a
it's-
menu that has been submitted to Nellie Gonzalez.
Okay, I just didn't open it quick enough.
Yeah, no, it's a pizza
menu.
It's a pizza
Yeah.
menu.
It's a big
Is there
attraction
some
now.
sort of guarantee that there aren't gonna be people that are just standing there drinking in this subway area?
That is
Well, this isn't the sub. Yeah, you've been down there,
It's the
right?
mezzanine.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty physically separate from
From the
sub.
round stuff.
Exactly, and I totally get that. I frankly go there all the time. And it's quite active during the day and not active during the night, which would actually be a good thing to have someone there.
Yeah, well, as I said, we approved a prior bar down there for 2 AM. I don't know if it stays open that late, but we haven't heard of any problems.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any
Yeah.
problems of any rowdiness or people hanging out.
Right, but I'm encouraged by Lisa's
Lisa.
letter of support for the
Okay,
manager.
She was the chair, she
Yeah.
was the chair of this committee for a long time,
Okay,
and she endorses the manager.
fine, I'm done.
And
Has
it's a
some kind of
small, and it's a
relation.
small capacity place, so yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So motion,
Did you ask for the public or?
you did,
I did, okay.
Did I?
I thought you did.
Okay,
Sorry.
yes.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Present not eligible, abstained. Okay, good luck.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good luck.
Yeah,
Now we know where to go at 4 o'clock.
or at 3 o'clock, on the subway.
have to get there early.
Item number 5 for new liquor license. This is 690 9th Avenue. Elephant Beer.
Here,
Here.
This is not the Elephant Beer?
here,
Drop the beat.
no beat.
Oh, it's not the beer run. Sorry, Elephant Ear.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
Okay, proposed opposite hours of operation, 11 AM to 12 AM, 7 days a week. Is the applicant here?
Yes, yeah, James Wang, representative.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, so this application is pretty simple. Because they do have a full liquor license there, and also the same principle, same method of operating. They just change the style. Before it DD hibachi, right now they change it to the Thai cuisine. So everything keeps same. So we are here to glad answer if you have any question.
James, you didn't circle any music on the form. You're gonna have just background music?
Background music only. Sorry, yeah, maybe a mistake. Yeah,
Just background music?
background, yes, right.
Yeah, okay.
No live music? Okay. Background only.
Yeah.
Christine?
You're proposing a vestibule and, could you specify that the vestibule will be limited to the,
Sorry.
store enclosure?
Yes.
Store enclosure would be limited to the, legal size, which is 18 inches?
Yes. Yeah, we will combine with the DOB regulation and DOT regulation. Yes.
Not more than 18 inches from
The wall.
the wall.
Facade.
Any other questions? Did I see a hand raised to my right?
It was the 18 inches storm enclosure.
You had it.
Yeah, but. Okay, okay. Good play.
Okay. Anybody, Carrie, Mike, questions? No?
Let you do this here.
Okay, Nellie, anybody from the community?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Thank you, Nellie.
Motion to approve.
All
Second.
those in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible? Abstained. Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening for everyone.
Okay.
Aye.
Item number 6 has been withdrawn, so the last item of new applicants is item number 7, 444 10th Avenue. That's known as the 444 as the Lounge. Proposed hours of operation, 7 to 12 AM, 7 days a week. Applicant?
Yes, I'm Barry Fox. I'm here for the applicant. I believe I'm being joined by Eli Weiss, who's the principal.
Yes, I'm here as well, Barry.
How are you? This is basically a continuation of an existing business, although it's a transfer of a liquor license. Eli is presently a principal with another gentleman in the existing Hudson Bar Room, which closed down and is being renovated. And it's going to reopen as being called the Bellhop. And it's an amenity for the hotel that it's in. It's a lounge. It has only 10 tables with 40 seats, one stand-up bar with only 6 seats. There's recorded music. The hours are from 7 in the morning till 12 at night. No outside. And it's a quiet place. It's someplace where you might want to go for a drink at the end of the day, or have dinner, and it's an amenity for the people in the hotel and Hudson Yards.
One question, Barry, you did fill out the page 7 of the form for Sidewalk Cafe, but it sounds like you're not seeking that at this time, correct?
My audio is not that great. Could you please repeat it?
Oh, sure. You filled out page 7 of the STIP form, that is the page about a Sidewalk Cafe, but you said you're not seeking any outdoor space now, correct?
Not at the moment, no. Perhaps
Okay,
later,
so-
but not at the moment.
Okay, so we'll include a STIP that this application doesn't extend to any outdoor space, okay?
Eli, you're good with that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay. Nellie, anybody from the community?
No, there's no one.
Thanks.
Motion, I guess.
All those in favor? Opposed? Person not
Thank you very
eligible, abstaining? Okay, looks like it passes.
Thank you.
We
Thank
have
you,
seven-
everybody.
very
Have a
much.
wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Wow.
Have a good night.
Would be easy without
Goodbye.
outdoor dining. But there
We
we
have
go.
finished our traditional, and now we're moving on to outdoor dining. Okay, the majority of the applications on our agenda. First one is item number 8. This is a sidewalk cafe. This is 61 9th Avenue, the big Starbucks Reserve Rotisserie. Did anybody go visit that?
Oh, yeah. Inga, Alan. and
Starbucks?
Perhaps others visited.
Starbucks.
Chelsea, maybe you too.
I did.
waiting for her at the wrong Starbucks.
Okay.
I spent half an hour there, and they do have they have almost a single file lane on the 9th Avenue side. And the reason is because of all the planters and their large tables are pushed out. So there was literally no space, and a lot of tourists feel that that's a public place. I sat there watching them arrange their own tables, put 6 chairs, and just people were having to walk off. So we did talk to them, and they are going to fix it and make sure that their staff is trained to make sure that when they set up, it's pushed back and there's enough clearance. And on the side street as well. I don't think they'll have as much a problem on the side street as 9th Avenue, but there are table vendors it's just literally, it was a nightmare to watch people.
Well, we have the manager here. Michael, did you want to say something?
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Hang on,
Two of you in the same.
okay.
Having echoes.
No, you are.
Blake, you're muted.
It is a cluster.
All right, can you all hear me now?
Yes.
We can.
Great. I apologize about that, having some technical difficulties. Would it be okay with the committee if I share my screen for a 3-minute presentation?
Go ahead.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. All right, can you all see my screen?
Alan, does he need permission to do that?
No, he should be able to share his screen.
Okay, great. Can you all see my screen?
No.
Not yet.
We still see you.
Okay. Having some tech issues.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'm the other manager at the roastery. Mike's computer just kind of crashed out, so while he gets back in. Actually, would you mind if I just slide my computer to him real quick?
Well, I'm not sure this is, I don't want to, we're happy to watch the presentation, but I'm not sure this is that controversial.
But yeah, we do need an answer to what Inga has described.
Yeah, there's one.
Okay, great. Sorry, folks. I'm just going to read my notes to you. My computer's not working with me. So good evening, co-chairs, members of the committee, neighbors, residents, businesses, and other stakeholders. My name is Mike Heminger. I'm the Director of Operations for Starbucks Reserve. It's the flagship division within our brand. Tonight, we're here to respectfully request your approval recommendation for our new opening dining sidewalk application request. I've been with Starbucks for almost 8 years to bring over 2 decades of hospitality and flagship experience to this role. Joining me tonight are a few of my colleagues from Starbucks. I have Blake. He's the Senior Manager of Roastery Operations and leads day-to-day execution of all things operations. He has a team of about 150 people reporting directly to him. Patrick is here this evening from our Policy and Government Affairs team. He provides strategic guidance to us on all locations across New York Metro and across the Northeast region. And then lastly, I have Carlos. He's our store concepts design principal, and he leads design for stores across North America.
I think I spoke to Blake.
Starbucks Reserve is a selection of the most extraordinary coffee Starbucks has to offer. It's where we push our own boundaries of craft, developing a unique roast for each individual lot before experimenting with coffee as an art form, brewing, aging, infusing.
Okay, but we're just here for the sidewalk. And we have so many things on the agenda. I hate to do this, but none of what you just said is anything we need to know.
Or we know it already. We're familiar with Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So I guess it seems the only issue is sort of patrolling.
I have a question.
Okay, but Inga had a question, who visited the site, just had a question about whether you'll be able to sort of patrol the outside to make sure the tables and chairs don't get moved around to block the sidewalk.
Yeah, and those tables are quite large and they were too close to the corner where the lamp pole is. So you just need to stay back away from the corner according to the guidelines. And I understand it's not you guys, but you need to train the staff that's setting it up and have them monitor it, because the tourists, which a lot of them do, just take 2 tables and 10 chairs and cover the whole sidewalk and people can't walk. I mean, I spent a half an hour there that morning, and then I think, Blake, I talked to you and you agreed with everything I said. And I know that a lot of your planters are behind your sidewalk cafe, which pushes your sidewalk cafe out. So you might want to just get rid of those and push your sidewalk cafe back, so you keep that clear path, which is what is needed. But other than that, there's no issue.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'd be happy to make those accommodations. We're going to be refreshing our patio and the landscaping along with it. So we'd be happy to reorganize it in a way that kind of meets the foot traffic demand.
Right, and any landscaping needs to be within your space, not on the public 10-foot clear path. Because that's not the widest sidewalk in the world. I think it's 14 feet if I recall. Yeah, so your sidewalk cafe has to leave 10 feet from every obstruction, which is, the bike racks, the signs, so you have to stay 10 feet back. So you might want to just have a small stanchion barrier rather than those huge planters, which takes up your seating space.
Absolutely.
Those have to be in your part of the sidewalk, not on the public part.
Yeah, thanks. Christine?
Yeah, I was looking at the map, and the map shows that you don't have a serving aisle.
No. People usually come out and take their own stuff out there. I didn't see any waitresses or servers come out. I don't know if they do wait on it, but I literally sat there for half an hour watching.
But so if they have as required,
yes,
a separation, how are the people going to come in?
They need to, right where their doorway is, they'd have to leave that part open, because people go in to get coffee and then come out. So they would have to come out of the door and then come into the sidewalk cafe, not off the street.
Right. Yeah, and even then, considering the planters and the design, it looks like you barely have the space to
There's
move.
not, they have to remove the planters.
Right.
So
Are you hearing all of this?
So Mike, what you're hearing is that your customers need to be able to get to their tables from within the cafe perimeter without going into the pedestrian clear path. So you're going to have to work something out so the barriers and the tables are there, but also customers can walk between the barriers and the tables to sit down. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So you're gonna have to have more authority about what's going on outside.
You have to have the servers come out and check, and if people do move the tables, just make sure that the staff comes out and puts them back where they belong.
But if they had a barricade,
hopefully the
which
barricade
they are supposed to,
yeah,
if you have a barricade, people are not going to push it. I mean,
yeah,
you hope.
you hope. But, I think Blake has my phone number. Call me and I'll walk down and show you guys. We all walk down there every day, so
Absolutely, we
close.
appreciate that.
yeah, no, we're happy
Okay.
to help.
Any additional questions? Anybody from the community know?
So, how
Yes,
do
I
we-
have one hand raised. I have Susan Marshall.
Okay, bring on over.
Want to include some comments on the phone? or-
Hi. Yeah, that's what I was
Hi,
going to say.
Susan.
Hi
there, Susan Marshall, I'm gonna give you my address. 300 West 18th and 19th Street Block Association. I just wanted to say that I did go down there the other day and observed as well, and the things that Inga was saying. I mean, there's kind of like, with the tables going almost into the public space, it's kind of hard to know the delineation of the roastery and the public space. And I think if they could, to Inga's point, if they get rid of the planters and they put up the barriers, there will be definition for that. People will know where to sit. It won't, infringe upon the public space. I think they've been great neighbors, and, we frequent the place, and, I think we can get it done. So it's workable for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. You say you want, go ahead, Inga.
I just have one more thing. I forgot to note in my notes, the Siamese twin around the corner on the 15th Street side. You just remember you have to stay 5 feet away from that. So when you train your staff, just tell them, because they just throw tables out there. But just remind them they have to keep that 5 feet distance from those Siamese twins fire hydrant sprinkler things.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Christine, I thought on the form where they have these comments for pedestrian flow and existing curb use, will say something like, applicant will take steps to ensure the sidewalk cafe is confined to cafe perimeter, with appropriate, barriers.
Mhm.
And that's the stipulation.
Well, it's not about a DOT form.
Okay. Okay, do you hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Those are not eligible, abstaining. Okay,
Okay, well, thank you for bringing so many people to inform us. Sorry we didn't let you all speak, but we just wanted to get to the core issues very quickly. But thank you for all of your time.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, item number 9, 156 7th Avenue, Elmo. This is also just a sidewalk cafe.
Yeah, hi, everybody.
Yes.
Donald Bernstein on behalf of Elmo and Bob Pontarelli, who is here. Elmo's been around for about 23 years. They've had outdoor seating for many, many years. The proposed sidewalk cafe here will be 14 tables and 24 seats, and will close by 10 p.m. during the week and 11 p.m. on weekends.
Okay, Donald, we got a email from a local block association, the West 200 Block Association, bringing to our attention that many of the sidewalk cafes and roadway cafes fail to meet ADA compliance, and there's not even a place on the form to really indicate that. And they're concerned about that, and they gave us a list of 4 applications, one of which was Elmo. Given that it's a sidewalk cafe, I'm not quite sure what additional ADA access they would need. What are the requirements, Donald, for ADA access in sidewalk cafes?
I don't know. Bob, is there any issue with
Maybe the
Gonna be 36.
It's enough
It's 30,
space.
yes.
Bob, you're muted, so you want to unmute yourself.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it has to be left empty all the time. I mean, they just
No,
need to
just that's what they need
provide it,
to,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I assume it's like theaters and things that have to have removable seats, but otherwise can use them. So, Donald, I assume that, if they need to make space for someone in a wheelchair or whatever in the cafe, they would do that.
Yeah, I
And
mean, service, there's a 3-foot service aisle, so there's room for someone to be able to get in there and access that space, put in a wheelchair. There's room to do that.
Okay. Ingrid, did you look at this one?
Bob, I don't know if you want to speak. You got to click on the microphone to unmute yourself.
Well, we'll hear from Ingrid first, who went to look at this.
Alan and I, we both looked at this one, yeah, and we everything was fine, measurements, everything was good, thank you, Donald.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't have to call you.
How many tables downstairs?
Oh, we have 12,
Yeah,
we need
12.
24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any additional questions, comments? Anybody from the community knowing?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Thank you.
Motion.
All in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible? Abstaining, okay.
Thank you. Bob,
Thank
we're all
Thank
good.
you. Take care. Nice seeing you again.
Okay, item number 10, 233 8th Avenue, Marsani,
Yeah, this is mine also.
Okay.
And
a sidewalk cafe.
yeah, and I'm sorry, Bert, I think I missed the announcement at the beginning. Are you leaving?
I am leaving the board
Well,
and
sorry to see you go. It's been a great number of years working with you. You've been from this end of the table, you've been a great person to work with on community board issues and licensing. So sorry to see you go, and good luck wherever you're headed.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, this next one is Marsan. This is looking for a small sidewalk cafe on West 22nd Street. This was Foragers. They've been open since June of last year, and there will be 10 tables with 20 seats. The sidewalk seating is on 22nd Street. Patrons will not enter through West 22nd Street. They have to go into the entrance on 8th Avenue and go through the interior of the restaurant and then come out the door on 22nd into the sidewalk cafe space. It will also close 10 p.m. during the week and 11 p.m. on weekends.
Okay. So we received two letters of strong support for this. One from a lifelong Chelsea resident who said had been a noticeable decline in this corner, but that the arrival of Marsan and the neighboring coffee shop brought renewed energy. Marsan's been a model neighbor, maintaining a clean, inviting space, reflects the value of the community, giving them the outdoor space, which helps support a local business that's proven its value. And the other was from a 30-year Chelsea resident who talks about how Chelsea has evolved, its declining commercial activity, but again, Marsan had revitalized the block. They were a very reputable business running a stellar venue.
Okay,
Inga?
we have,
What?
Alan and I visited this one as well, and when we first arrived, we've seen it because we walk by there all the day. They had a gigantic, which they've had all winter, a very large vestibule storm enclosure on the 9th Avenue side. And a huge sandwich board on top of that, so they really left you very little space. I talked to them, they called me back, they were very nice about it, they're gonna get rid of that, they didn't realize the 18 inches. I made some suggestions about how to mediate that on the inside, which is what Foragers did. They had their vestibule on the inside. And they're gonna put their sandwich board against the building. This sidewalk was fine. It's also not too wide. It's 14 feet, 10 inches. So as long as they keep within their boundaries, they should be fine. There are also, I think, were there Siamese twins? Yeah, there were Siamese twins at this one as well, towards the corner, which on their diagram, they look like they're staying 5 feet away from it. And we're happy they're good neighbors, so we had no issue with it.
I see we have Christine.
Yeah, I'm not clear on the drawing, maybe. The drawing shows 8 feet from the cafe, but the cafe doesn't have an aisle, a serving aisle.
They're coming from the restaurant into it.
But from the restaurant, I mean, I see the drawing and it just, you can't circulate between the tables.
and get up and move and stuff.
You come in and that's fine, I understand, they can serve the first table, but they cannot serve the other 5 table and 6 table on the other side. So there is no place to do the service, I mean, it looks to me.
How wide is the sidewalk?
14, 10.
Yeah, so it's very tight.
And what, is this a 8-foot or 10-foot clear path?
It's an 8-foot clear path.
Well, that gives them 6
Yeah.
feet 10 inches.
Well, that's why I'm saying I can't see they are saying the cafe is 4 feet.
Right, so that gives.
So that gives them, but it doesn't show there and the barricade doesn't show
Yeah.
there, so maybe we just need to clarify that
Yeah,
there is going to be a barricade. And
Yes.
there is to be a serving aisle, right?
Yeah. So Donald, did you hear that? The question is where the serving aisle is gonna be for those 6 tables.
It's not, yeah.
John, do you, are you hearing this, John?
Yes.
You understand the question?
So basically, yes, we're gonna put tables on a 22nd Street on the sidewalk, and we'll have 10 tables, and will be space. We'll be put barricading, so will be space to pass and serve those tables.
So where's the space? The space is outside of the cafe, or is it the space in between it's just that it's not marked.
I think it's that line, Christine.
In the middle. That's
See, there's a line above the tables.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't read
Well,
that.
it says 6 foot, or was it?
No, I've
it
seen
said
it.
says
Okay.
4
I've
foot.
seen it, I'm just saying it's.
I mean, yes, the diagram looks like.
It's just not
No,
marked.
right here, this is.
The
4
key
foot.
question is whether, once you have your tables, right? You have one table, you have a second table, and then
Yeah.
people are going
So
to
they can only
serve
have actually one.
coming outside of that, right?
Of service.
So you need to have a service aisle and you need to have a barricade.
But we'll make a space. We'll make a space between that, so we'll arrange properly, so we'll be able to serve them coming from outside and going. I mean, we're not gonna put those barricades, so we're not gonna be able to reach those people.
But you can't go into the sidewalk
You
to
can't go
serve
on the
them.
sidewalk, right?
You have to be within your own perimeter.
Yeah.
Right, so your barricade should be at the 8 feet limit, right?
Yes.
You have the barricade, and between the barricade and the table is where your people go back and forth and serve everybody. So I think you have the space for it, but the plan doesn't show it.
Right, because I think that where that sort of dotted line is,
Right.
where the tables end to where that
Yes.
like extra line, I think if the math works out, that's 2 feet 10 inches.
Yes.
That would be the service
I
aisle.
agree with that.
It's just the plan isn't quite correct. You just need to label the amount of space that you have for that service aisle, because right now it looks like it's cutting into the sidewalk, which actually doesn't seem to be based on the numbers, but it just needs to be clarified.
Yeah, because you said your servers were coming from the restaurant and the guests. They're all coming into the sidewalk cafe from that side door.
Yes.
So they're never gonna go onto the sidewalk. They're going right in and out from there.
Yes. Yes.
They need to be able to walk between there, which you
Okay,
have
we're
the
gonna
space.
arrange that that we're gonna make enough space, so we're gonna be able to serve our lovely guests.
Barry, anything additional?
I was just remembering this application from the beginning, and we're all very glad you're here. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
You are also, are you planning on still doing a roadway cafe?
A roadway,
Roadway dining?
roadway cafe. No, we didn't.
Because isn't there a city bike right
Yes,
there?
there's a
Right.
city bike across from us.
Across the street.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't apply for that because we were thinking it's gonna be too much, for passing, and it's not gonna be proper. That's the
So
reason we didn't. apply.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think what everyone's asking, maybe it's that you need to put the serving aisle in between those two tables, those two tops, but,
Yeah.
or I don't know if you want a 4 top, but anyway, you can't walk out onto the sidewalk to come
No,
either sit or serve.
No, absolutely, yes. So we're gonna adjust that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else from the committee? Nellie, I saw we had 2 people. Pam, Wolf, and somebody else from the community?
Right now, we only have Pamela Wolf.
Okay,
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
So,
Pam.
yeah, hi. I had the same question about as Christine posed about the passage. And I've visited the site several times and find just eyeballing it, it looks like there's plenty of room to accommodate every need. I'm a little confused. Is the side door to the restaurant going to be closed and your barricade is going to be all the way across? So that
No, we're gonna leave space in front of our side or in front of our door. So that's we're not gonna put tables in front of our door.
understood, but is
street.
the barricade going to go all the way across the entry so that people from the street cannot use that as an entry
No,
to
no,
the
no.
restaurant?
We're not gonna block that door.
You're not going to block that
No.
door?
They're not,
Okay.
she's not asking, Mijan, if you're going to block the door. It's just if the barricade on the far end of the seats is going to go all the way across, so no one from 22nd Street can walk in through your door. I think that's.
That's my question. That is my question.
We're not gonna put the barricade all the way like that. We're just gonna put it from one side to another side, but not in front of the door.
Okay, thank you. Another question I had has to do, and it hasn't come up in any of these discussions. Are you planning some sort of sunshade or canopy or umbrella or anything overhead to protect people in case it starts to rain a little bit?
Well, we're gonna have that awning that we're gonna put, and we're
You're
gonna
gonna have an awning?
Well, you know that in case it's sun or it's rain, we're gonna be able to pull it out and pull it in.
Okay, all right. That's going to be interesting to see how you do that since you're glass all the way up. But I'm sure you'll figure it out. Anyway, I am delighted that this is happening. That corner has been problematic, and that whole corridor of 8th Avenue. And the more life we can get on the street, particularly in that area, the better off we are. So thank you. I appreciate it.
I truly believe we're gonna be a really good asset for the neighborhood. It's gonna be really nice and beautiful. So I know the issue it was before, and thank God, I think we're gonna be really good for the neighborhood.
And I think you already are.
Good.
Thank you.
Something on the.
I mean, it's just complying with the. Well, I mean, I think the measurements are there, and actually the line
The
is.
space is there.
Okay.
I think we just.
And I spoke with him on the phone. If there's a problem, I'll walk by, or Alan will walk by,
You want a new plan?
and he will tell you.
Okay,
I don't think we do, I mean.
okay. So do we have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor, opposed?
Aye.
Abstaining, present, not eligible? Okay, moving along to number.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good. Be well. Number 11, 176 7th Avenue, Bar Veloce. It's again a sidewalk cafe. You guys visited?
Oh, yeah, here they are. They're okay. That's why there are no notes. It just says okay.
Hi.
Looks like.
Can you, hi, my name is Frederick Toomey. I'm the owner of Bar Veloce at 176 7th Avenue. Located between 20th and 21st, been there since 2004. And I'm applying for sidewalk seating. And I believe you have the information. The hours are 3 p.m. to whatever's lawful, but I believe it's 10 p.m. on the sidewalk. We are open 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you agreed to what we asked, which is.
Yes.
10 p.m. on weekdays and 11 on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And you also have you've already had a rear yard, correct?
Yes.
Okay, have there been any issues with that, with your neighbors or anything?
Never.
Okay, great. One question on the STIP form, you didn't circle any kind of music inside. Do you have background music inside?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, very boring jazz.
Okay. I'll just call it background music. I won't call it chorus jazz.
I agree, but
Okay. All right, that's all I had.
Comments, questions? Nellie from the community?
No,
Do I
there's
hear
no one.
one? Okay,
Motion second.
all those in favor, opposed? Person not eligible, abstaining. Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Item number 12, 177 Ninth Avenue, Barbagamante. Again, sidewalk cafe.
Now
How
they're,
are you? My name is Michael Ferrari. I think everyone can hear me. Is that correct?
Yes,
Thank you. I'm here with Romain Lamaze, the longtime owner of La Bergamote. I say long time. It's been there since. He can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's been there since 2007 in its current location, and then within a block or two away from there, some 10 years before that as well. This is a cafe on 9th Avenue, on the corner of 9th Avenue and 20th Street. You can see there are 4 tables on the 9th Avenue side and 3 tables on the 20th Street side, and we can answer any questions you may have.
yeah, just a couple of things about your stipulation form. You didn't circle any kind of music. Are you having background music on page 2?
Not outside. If it is,
But inside.
Inside, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then I was a little confused about the inside occupancy because you say your C of O is 181, but then you only have 30 seats and another 8 seats at the bar. Is the restaurant that small or?
It's
What
large.
happened with the discrepancy, I guess?
There's retail space, and I didn't spend any time in it this time, and Romain can add to my explanation, but a large portion of it is used for retail space selling of prepared foods.
Okay, that's fine. And then one question on our stip form again about the Sidewalk Cafe page. When we asked if you'd have a 3-foot serving aisle, you said no. Are you gonna have at least some kind of serving aisle? This is on page 7.
The drawing shows.
It comes out in front door.
Yeah, the drawing shows the three.
So you do have a service
Right, they
aisle.
do have the aisle.
So should I change that answer on the form that you will have
Yes,
a?
yes. Excuse me. That was my.
But
What?
yeah, so I did, the way they have it set up now works, but it's not the way they have it on the drawing. They have a table by the window, another table by the second window, and another by the third window, so they have them spread out, pushed up against, they don't have this two tops against that wall, that's not how it's set up, so the diagram doesn't really work because you're too close to the tree bed, especially when the umbrellas are out. The way it is set up, as long as the umbrellas are tucked in, sometimes they're pushed out a little far, it works. I did talk to the guy that serves me my coffee and gives me my croissant every morning. Because I knew he would tell the owner to just tell the staff to keep it pushed in. I didn't feel I had to come and meet with anyone. They're good neighbors, they keep it clean, both sides are fine, but it doesn't work the way they have it on the drawing.
I don't understand.
Yeah, so do they have to redo the
The
drawing?
But I don't understand because it looks like the drawing works, right?
If I can.
But the pictures, the way they have it set up, but the way they really have it set up is totally
No,
different.
but I mean, that needs to be different.
Yeah.
Based on the drawing,
So we
right?
need to find out what they want.
Which is the drawing.
Okay, why don't we let them speak? Michael?
So let me, I'll give you some explanation. The currently, you're correct to say that it's not set up the way the drawing represents. It's set up the way left over from the original COVID period and the following period. And so it's ongoing since then. And the intention is once this is approved to set it up this way. The issue is that when I think this woman is talking about, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Inga
is talking about is that if that second table is spread out further north, further uptown, then there won't be 10 feet between that and the tree bed. At least that was my understanding. I didn't do the drawings or measurements, but this is my understanding from Romain and his discussion with the person that made the drawings. But this allows for 10 feet between that second table coming out from the building and that tree bed, which is
So in other words-
as is required.
So you're gonna follow, once this gets approved, you're gonna follow the setup that's in the drawing.
Correct.
Okay, you're okay with that.
I'm okay with the way it is now because I think it's spread out and closer to the building, but if they wanna change it, it looks like they're losing seats.
Okay, all right.
Get 7 seats.
Yeah, anybody else?
7 tables.
Natalie?
The plan is great.
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. Nice to see you all. Thank you.
All those in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible? Abstaining. Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Item number 7 again is a sidewalk cafe, 182 8th Avenue, Zizzy.
I'll see about the memo.
Oh, yes.
You told me you did.
I did.
wasn't on
I did do Susan. I don't remember, they're the ones with those big flower boxes. I talked to, the manager and they're not gonna use those huge flower boxes, which they just pushed way out into the sidewalk. They've used them during COVID. They kind of use them as a barrier. They're like 3 feet wide, but they're not gonna use those anymore. So the way they have it and the measurements, when we talk, it works. They're gonna get rid of those flower beds, and I think they already got rid of 2, so it's fine.
Well, the plan does have some planters. You're saying those will just be smaller than what?
They told me they weren't gonna use those big, huge planters, but they can confirm with you. That's what they said to me.
Okay,
But they
Michael.
still have the clear path.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Michael?
the clear path's down the middle.
Huh?
Clear path's down the middle.
No, the serving, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the clear path. They
Yeah,
still have the
10
clear
feet,
path.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, Michael,
Michael, do you have anything to say?
you're muted if you're trying to say something.
Don't say anything.
Well, why don't we see if we have anyone?
Yeah, from the community now?
Oh,
Oh, there's a hand.
There's
It's
one
Susan.
person with the raised hand.
Okay, bring on over, Susan again. Is she over, Nellie?
Just come.
Yes, I just moved her over.
Hi, I'm here. I think you guys probably resolved this issue, and I wasn't sure if Diana Marur was going to speak, but we're talking for Robert Dobruskin. He was saying the new application looks to be identical to the one they submitted in February, and that a single column of tables is the only thing that works for the entire length of 8th Avenue sidewalk from 14th Street up through Hell's Kitchen. So maybe with this issue of making the planter smaller, it'll work, but because it didn't seem like it was going to work the way they had it right now. Is that what you think, Inga?
I thought if they get rid of those planters
Okay.
and use a
Okay.
smaller barrier, it would have room,
Okay.
but with those big planters, you can't. It's too much. It takes up too much space.
Yeah, okay, because the 12 feet of sidewalk space doesn't begin to make sense. All right. Okay, thank you very much.
So you're saying the drawing is not accurate? What they say is the space is not the space?
It just isn't,
Well,
oh, it doesn't look like it's gonna fit. You know, it only
if
looks
they
like,
keep planters, they have to.
if they keep the
very
planters.
tight. Yeah, they have
Right.
to keep it tight and not pushing out.
Yeah.
Cause it's not wide.
If you look at lasagna down the street, and I don't know if anybody sent any photos to you guys, that is really about all they can do. And that has the barriers too.
Okay, well, let's see if we have the applicant here. Thank you, Susan.
Okay, we have another raised hand from the community, Nellie.
mute.
There she is.
Hi, Diana. Go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to figure it out and unmute myself and get my live photo on. No, just in follow up to what Susan just said, if you saw ZZ's drawn the schematic that they submitted, it indicates 12 feet of sidewalk space, which is impossible because Eighth Avenue is 8th Avenue is only 14 feet. So the whole, it just doesn't, the dimensions just don't make sense. So only really.
Now, the diagram says 120 inches, which is 10 feet.
Okay,
You may be
all right.
misreading. It's 120 inches. They did it in inches, not feet. So 120 inches is only 10 feet, which leaves them 6 feet for the
You
sidewalk.
just have to keep it tight.
Yeah.
Well, but 10 and 6 is 16.
Which is what they say is the width of the sidewalk.
And the sidewalk is 14.
Okay, well, their folks is 16. Ingrid, do you remember what it is?
I don't remember what it is, but I'm just looking at the blocks.
Another community member and I measured it a couple of weeks ago. It is 14.
I think it's like just over 14.
Okay.
So that leaves 4 feet.
Yeah.
10 feet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
That's good.
Diana. Let's hear from the applicant.
What's not tight? It's impossible.
Alan Oster, didn't we measure this and tell them they could only have one row of tables?
I think we suggested that.
No, I mean,
We were there a while ago.
yeah, it was a while ago. I don't know if you guys went back and remeasured and maybe we did it wrong, but we told them at the time they couldn't have 2 rows of tables.
Oh, wait, this could have been too long ago because our comments only due on May 10th.
No, this is definitely in this
Oh, you might have
session.
measured it.
They put the roadway.
They did a roadway.
They did a roadway.
And a sidewalk. I
Yeah,
think
so
we,
you looked at the sidewalk at the time.
Yeah.
This one
Yeah.
says the sidewalk.
Yeah, all right, so let's,
So look, if there is 10 feet and then.
well, let's hear from, it doesn't work if the sidewalk's 14 feet, not 16.
And the applicant, do you have something to say?
Which.
Is that my fault? We don't know what it is.
Those are pretty big size tables.
Is the applicant for, is Izzy here? Or representative? Where's Michael?
We're still there, but it's obviously the same.
Michael, are you a representative for the applicant? You're on mute.
Bert, I don't believe the applicant is here.
Okay, thank you, Nellie.
You're welcome.
So what do we do?
Did I?
Or
Or
do we, I try to talk to them again?
did not, I can call them.
Well, we have till May 10th,
Right.
so we have a month.
We have,
I can go there tomorrow or call them.
Okay,
okay, so,
I think we need to get them to one row.
yeah, we need new plans that.
so we're not gonna take a vote on this.
Well, no, we should, we,
Then,
Does they agree with?
oh wait, when's the
modification?
next BLP meeting?
The 13th,
13th, all right, so we should take a vote.
Yeah.
but with less tables, because it's.
Yeah, well, we gotta figure out if it's 16 feet or 14 feet.
I'll go there tomorrow.
And then, they have to submit a new plan. Nellie, when do we need a new plan by?
We need new plans by April 28th.
That's okay.
Okay, that should give them plenty of time, I guess. So again, they, assuming the sidewalk is 14 feet, they have to come up with something that works with only 4 feet.
okay, so what is our resolution state?
If we would,
It's deny and less.
They keep the 10-foot clear path
yeah,
and
and come up with a.
plan that makes the
Right.
tables
Site
work.
plan.
And if they come back with a new plan,
A new
then
plan is
we
needed.
approve.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so if they come up with a plan that fits within the 4 feet perimeter with the 10-foot clear path. We would
Because
approve.
they just need tiny tables and
Okay.
tight.
Yeah,
Okay,
Motion.
all those in favor, opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay. Item number 14 is our first roadway. Okay, that's 189 9th Avenue, Fonda of Chelsea.
There's an issue here, many issues.
All right, want to see if the applicant, Nellie, is the applicant here?
Item number 14 now is
Good.
7 tables, 14 seats,
Just my truth, actually.
roadway.
No, it's not.
If anyone's here for the applicant, Fonda of Chelsea, 189 9th Avenue, could you raise your hand, please?
I don't see the applicant here.
Okay, now you had mentioned, Inga, a lot of problems.
With this space.
And this one we have, our response is due tomorrow, so we have to deny it.
Mhm.
Because you said
So
they
what are
wouldn't, you said they wouldn't, they didn't.
What's the sidewalk more than that?
It's the sidewalk more, and the stuff they put in the tree pit, they set up their bar stuff, their ice buckets, there's tables on both sides of the tiny little sidewalk. And they went, there's a store, Blossom, the old Blossom is closed, and so they just take up all the other empty storefronts with their tables. And double rows of tables, and then their servers have their trays and they're folding things in the middle of the site. You've been past there too. It's a nightmare. You cannot walk past
Well, we
there.
don't know if they're going to be applying for sidewalk.
I think they are.
But it's on the floor.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 tables.
Yeah, but
With 4 seats.
But by the way, here is only the roadway.
Yeah.
Right,
Nothing
it's
is
still
on
the roadway, but they also have a monstrous vestibule that they put up every year that 311, everybody files. They never, you can't get by, you talk to a manager, they dismiss you, they're very dismissive, they're not responsive, and now they didn't show up.
Well, let's figure out what we can do here. I mean,
The roadway works, but they're gonna set up all the way.
The problem is that if the roadway works, which it looks like it works.
They're gonna block the whole
right?
sidewalk with their bar.
Then the elected, nobody's going to support that.
yeah,
So we need to bring all that stuff at the time of the sidewalk cafe, not at the time of the roadway.
Yeah,
because they haven't been here for Sidewalk Cafe.
Right.
no,
Otherwise, we know our elected are not excited about denying anything. As
Oh,
we
really?
as we brought in Empire dinner, people said, is there any concern?
All
No
right,
question.
and maybe we make a real effort to get the applicant here. For the
it's
sidewalk
almost
cafe.
impossible.
I think that's what we need to
Manager, I'll
do.
try, but.
Well, I mean, when the Sidewalk Cafe comes around, so Christine,
Yeah.
you think we should just approve the roadway?
I think so, because if
There was no problem with
if
it.
there is no problem with that, what's going to happen is Eric is going to say, there's no problem with that.
Right.
And then we are wasting everybody's time.
But they'll fill the tree pit with their.
Okay, so we just have the roadway right now, so we have a resolution.
Oh, wait, we haven't heard from the public.
Oh, Melly, anybody from the community there raising a hand?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay. So do we have a resolution that, what does it say?
No, just approving the roadway.
Just approving the
Roadway. Okay,
Motion to approve.
we got it, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay, item number 14 goes. Now we have item number 15, which is 203 West 19th Street, the Bear Run. It's again a roadway,
Beer, not there, beer.
and it should be B-E-A-R.
E, it's beer, there, it's a pun.
Beer.
Is that a pun?
B-E-A-R, okay? We've had a lot of comments
So,
on this.
so we got 2 letters of objection from the 100 West 1920 Block Association that says, as far as they know, Beer Run is a tavern, a bar, not a restaurant. And bars apply for outdoor dining if they don't actually serve food. It's a noisy bar that continues to serve after official closing hours and plays piped music every day starting at noon. It continues to play through the day. They are messy with total disregard for quality of life of their neighbors. Garbage is a constant eyesore and attraction for rodents. The application is not to scale, and the table measurements are totally unrealistic. They say there's nothing about ADA accessibility. Then we get a similar one from the 300 West 18th Street Block Association. They say their members regularly pass by here. But Beer Run has not demonstrated to be the kind of responsible or respectful operation that should warrant the privilege of the public space. The neighbors have documented numerous serious concerns, disregard for regulations, chronic sanitation issues, noise disturbances, safety hazards, and a consistent lack of accountability. Rather than being positive presence, Beer Run has shown consistent neglect for both city guidelines and community well-being. These are not isolated incidents, but a persistent pattern of problematic behavior that has diminished quality of life.
So both letters essentially say, we don't trust them. They make a mess of what they have now, and we don't trust them with.
Do they have a lot of 311 complaints about all of this noise, garbage?
I don't know, we only got this today, so I don't think
Yeah, the letters are right.
we have time to.
Do you have somebody from the?
Okay, we have Pamela from the
Well,
committee.
let's see, do we have anyone from the applicant first? Nellie, is there anyone here for a Beer Run?
I do not see the applicant.
If the applicant's here for Beer Run, 203 West 19th, please raise your hand.
Okay, we still have from the committee, I see Carrie has your hand raised.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the photos and, I mean, hearing what the block associations are saying as well. But like, how do you get 3 tables in the space of 2 sandwich boards? Which is kind of what I'm seeing.
Right, the diagram says they have 10 feet, correct? So that would be, right, that's roughly 3 feet, a few inches for each table with seats on 2 sides, right? It doesn't work.
Yeah, so I mean, at the very least, I would ask them to redraw.
Well, so this is another one we have to respond by tomorrow, so, I think this one.
I think this is one we denied,
I think we denied,
based on
it just doesn't
the
fit,
feedback of the whole neighborhood and,
and it doesn't fit.
and then it doesn't fit, right?
And the applicant's not.
And
Okay,
the applicant's not here, right?
we have Pamela.
One second, let's see, so Inga, what did you,
We measured it and we thought it was a tiny little space, and if they had 3 teeny little tables, they could squeeze in there, but why would you want to?
What would you want to?
That's all we said, is you could make it work, but it would be, you'd sit like
Right.
this, and who wants to sit there? We didn't know why they wanted a roadway, cause it's 3 little teeny, I mean, literally you have to have tiny little, like 18-inch tables, teeny ones.
Okay.
Okay, from the committee, we have Pamela and at least one other.
Three others.
They keep changing from
Oh,
one to
2 and
2.
3, right?
Although, we're just gonna be voting against it.
And this is John Collins, the public. Now it looks like we have 3. I don't think one of them.
First, we have Pamela.
Okay, go ahead, Pamela.
just everyone keep in mind, on the public comments, if you keep in mind, we've heard what's in those letters, and we're gonna recommend denial, so please just add new, information.
Okay. Okay, I'll do my best. I went by and some weeks ago and spoke to, I think, a new manager or something who said, "Oh, don't worry about the tables. They're going to be tiny and they're going to be circular. They're going to be round tops." So I thought that was kind of a one way to slice the apple. Anyway, they had this is a spot that has been a really, really bad actor in the community for a long time. They they had a roadbed shed which was extended beyond their proportions and overlapped onto the McManus's turf. McManus, their I can't hear you.
Is this a fire operator? You're talking about, or you're talking about beer run?
No.
Anyway, Diana is here, and I think she's going to speak on behalf of the Block Association, and she's got a whole lot better information than I do. But just from my own personal observation, the garbage situation alone was just appalling. They never cleaned up after themselves, and they stuck the job on McManus, who very sweetly would attend to it, but it was tacky and nasty and rat infested and awful.
Okay, so you folks need to, this is not something that is going to engage the DOT as part of this process.
311.
So you need to start making 311 complaints.
And call Eric.
And call call the elected.
Your council member.
I think there's been a lot of that in the past, 311s and reaching out to city council member Botcher and others historically for years. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and let Diana talk.
Okay. Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, I want to, apparently got a slight thing incorrect as far, it didn't impede on McManus's, Peter McManus, their space, but during the years when there was a temporary boiler downstairs, which was not temporary, it was there for 4 years, it was painted clearly on the roadway 6 feet. And then because we had no boiler here for like 4 years, and then Beer Run built their shed 2.5 feet from it, garbage piled up crazy. DOT, Department of Sanitation, as well as McManus, the private, couldn't even access the sidewalk to get to it. And DOT had issued Beer Run a cease and desist order to not only reduce the size of their shed, which was 2.5 times the size of their storefront, and to move it and to make it smaller. They did neither. And as far as the current application, I want to say, first of all, if it's a little drawing of this space is 10 feet wide, which is the length of the width of their storefront. They have drawn on 3 tables with even at 18 inches, 3 tables, 6 stool on each side, that equals like 11.5 feet. It can't work. Just size wise, the schematic just doesn't make sense. And even if they reduce it to 2 tables, for all of the residents here, and there are many, and other people, we don't believe that they would stick to that. They have broken every rule, including when the sheds were up, had illegal advertising on the sides of their building. They do not even own a trash can. It just doesn't make sense. And we hope you, and then if you look at their drawing, you'll see that it doesn't make sense. The drawing doesn't even include the barriers that would be required behind it. It's just, they just drew in arbitrarily 3 tables and 6 and 8 whatever chairs, stools. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
Oh, one more, John?
Hi, I think it's me, Susan.
She says John Connolly.
Oh, was
John
it John?
Connolly was to speak.
Sorry.
No, next is Susan, then John.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You already, Frank already read most of our letter from RBA, but just a couple of things. I thought with a roadway, you have to serve food. It's my understanding that Beer Run doesn't serve food.
You don't even have a kitchen.
The other thing is, why isn't anyone talking about access for the placement of rat traps and sanitizing under the sheds? You know, that's just a question in general for all the sheds. And I won't say any more because I know you're going to vote no on this one. So thank you.
Anticipation. John?
Hello, this is John.
Go ahead, John.
Hello, yes, I'm a resident of 203 West 19th Street. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. I just to reiterate what everybody said about this place, it's just been a nightmare with the outside dining shed. Prior to that, it did open up as a beer tasting and a takeaway place, and eventually morphed into a spot where 30 plus people would cram inside, and it's like coming home every day to New Year's Eve. I can tolerate that because when I get to the second floor, the noise abates. But when it was outside, the outside dining shed, I couldn't even open up my window to enjoy the summer evenings because it allowed boisterous behavior downstairs. Calls have been made. I was told by several of their bartenders that it's an active business and there's nothing they could do about it, notwithstanding the fact that they do serve high octane, high levels of alcohol beer, that after two of them, they're probably intoxicated. So they're serving intoxicated people on a daily basis, which is probably, I think, is against the law. Now, I am a recovering alcoholic, so to come home to a daily party like that every day, and notwithstanding the fact that marijuana was being smoked and even cocaine, I've seen it being used, it just leads me, to question why a place like this is in operation. Certainly, them having the space they have is the bar itself proper. I can tolerate it, and I think most of the tenants can tolerate that. But when they're outside, when they had the large dining shed, which they never really serve food other than people doing takeaway, it's something that I think should be denied. And like I said, they could continue their business on the inside, but if they have an outside dining shed, it would lower the quality of life in this neighborhood. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
So just to be clear to everyone who's spoken, we are gonna recommend denial, but we have had a non-existent success rate in accomplishing that. So I suggest two things. One, that you do try to reach out to your city council person, Eric Botcher, again, and see if he can help you on this, because this will go, city council has the power to stop this. We don't. But there's also going to be a public Zoom hearing before the DOT that anyone can speak at. So if you'd like to be notified of that, please send Nellie Gonzalez an email, Nellie Gonzalez of the Community Board 4 office, saying you'd like to be told when there's going to be the DOT hearing, and she will let you know. But again, on this one, I think we should move on. But again, do not think this is that our recommendation is going to carry a lot of weight here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a motion.
Motion to deny.
Okay, thanks.
All those in favor of denying? Opposed? Person not eligible? Abstaining. Okay. The next two are sidewalk cafes, both from the Chelsea Hotel. One is the Cafe Chelsea, and one is El Quijote. So let's do it together.
Let's see. We have
Well, we got some,
no, is there an applicant here though, or? No, is the applicant here?
We're on the call.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
trying to think how best to do this. Yeah, why don't we who visited this, Alan and Inga again? Okay, we're gonna let the committee members talk. We've had varying comments from the community about this, some vehemently objecting and some praising your layout. So let's hear what Inga and Alan have to say.
So basically the same thing with both. I did email, Courtney at the Maritime Hotel. I got no response. So I couldn't even explain to them what we noted. But both restaurants, I can say the same thing for both, are surrounded by many, many large planters. Which as they are now, only leaves an 8-foot clear path. And then in some places, 7 feet, depends on how the planters are sticking out. They need to remove those planters or push them back to be within their sidewalk allotted space in order to leave a 10-foot clear path for pedestrians. It would likely result in needing either to turn the tables along the building facade to seat patrons parallel instead of the way it is now. And they also have like a sort of a bar cart back there, a large one. Both cafes were filled with people. The first time I went with Alan, we didn't go in to disturb the patrons. I did go back on a rainy day when there was no one there, with one of the neighbors who's been complaining a little bit. So that's it just, and then they're also on the diagram. When you come out of the one entrance, they don't have the large, they're square, they're beautiful iron, the pillars. And right there, there's only a 7-foot because they don't even have that on the sidewalk.
So I'm totally confused. So you're saying essentially the plan is completely wrong.
The planters need to go way back.
Not the plan.
The plan.
The plan is because they're showing 10 feet everywhere.
No.
Oh, wait, you mean it can't fit, or it's not the way it's
I mean,
set up?
if they.
No, it shows that there is 10 feet.
Yeah.
And all those planters back.
The way it exists now, it doesn't.
Correct.
That's
This
not
is
my
Sean
question.
McPherson. May I chime in and clarify?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm the owner of Cafe Chelsea and El Quixote along with my partners. We had set up during COVID per the DOT regulations that asked for 8 feet. As you pointed out, we have very large planters, which I personally believe is a great boon to 23rd Street. That's been very rough. We made a huge investment in those planters. We believe that they've beautified the neighborhood deeply. So they were set up at 8 feet per the previous regulations. They've all been moved since then. We have photographs with us. They're all 10 feet away, and they fit. And I just want to point out, just listening to all the previous applications talking about, very narrow sidewalks. Our sidewalk is roughly 22 feet deep. It's quite deep, and it's quite easy to achieve 10 feet. Those are new regulations since the, previous season. We have moved everything. That we have irrigation, all the plants, so it took a little effort and took some coordination of different people to move everything, but everything is 10 feet away as of several days ago.
Okay, and going forward, you'll maintain the 10-foot.
Yes, and I really want to emphasize that we have a 22-foot wide sidewalk, so it's quite easy for us to maintain 10 feet.
Christine and then Inga.
No, I'm asking Inga and Alan is if the drawing we have is accurate or not. It is. Okay.
It is. If
So
they pushed it all back.
wait. If they push, but is this drawing accurate?
Accurate.
Yes, that is how it exists
What I'm
today.
saying is
One
that,
sec.
I'm sorry, I'm asking where it says 10 feet distance, there is the possibility of having 10 feet distance.
There's possibility,
Okay.
but they needed to move, we measured
And he
2
said
weeks
they
ago.
did.
We measured 2 weeks ago,
And he says,
Right.
and you just moved them a few days
Right.
ago, so
Yep.
when we measured, there was
Right.
8 feet and 7 feet, because you have to keep your 10 feet where the bike racks, the poles are, it doesn't go out to the curb, so you have to make sure where there are parking signs that you measure from the parking
So
sign back.
let me ask
Yeah,
you
and
a question.
I referred to the drawing, and if you notice, there's parking, so there's no bike racks. But you're right, there's posts for the awnings, et cetera. I've done a lot of building. We took a tape measure, we drew a 10-foot diagram around the posts, et cetera. And once again, I want to emphasize that achieving 10 feet is no effort. The only delay is that these are relatively new regulations. We have very large, very heavy plants, and we have irrigation set up. And so it took a lot of coordination, but it's done, and you're welcome to go back. And I would not testify here by not speaking the truth. I mean, as it's quite
Yeah.
for anyone sitting in this meeting to show up with the tape measure and measure. And there's no reason not to achieve 10 feet when we can achieve it. And I also want to point out in advance that we're operating a hotel here. We have roughly 150 guest rooms. It is in our interest to keep the sidewalk clear for all of our hotel guests, et cetera. So and I understand I operate another restaurant in the West Village with a 6-foot wide sidewalk on a 12-foot wide street. And, things get very, very tight. This is a unique situation. It's 23rd Street and there's 22 feet of clear sidewalk.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And I wanted to say,
I walked by there on the weekend and it did seem wider to me. I think even some of the plantings looked like they either cut them back already or. I didn't have a tape measure with me at the time.
Yeah.
It did look like it was much
That's
wider.
what we need to.
and besides the measurements,
I'll bring
I
it
just
to
want to say aesthetically, I walk by as a member of the community, and I appreciate the plantings.
Exactly, they're beautiful, they just need to be pushed back.
Right.
I'm glad you appreciate them. Like I say, it was an investment. We care deeply about this property. We care deeply about New York City. They were my personal pet project. And I too think that they are a contribution to the neighborhood. And
Absolutely.
the rabbi from the temple next door was so inspired by them that he used the same people to add plants to
I
the
noticed that
temple.
recently.
And we encourage anyone else on the street to also add plants.
Yeah, and Sean, we did get, someone gathered very favorable comments about the planting, someone from a nearby block association with multiple people saying that, the cafe's been a great success, contributes positively to the vibrancy and character of the block. It used to be unsafe and desolate. It's good to have a vibrant business. I've never seen a more beautiful outdoor restaurant in New York. Level of care and aesthetic excellence has transformed the elevator, it has transformed the area. So in addition to the concerns, we have gotten positive feedback.
Okay, if there's nobody else in the committee, we have 3 people from the community, Nellie? 3 or 4 people from the community. Are
they coming on?
We have
Yeah, hi.
Michelle. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, please. Mr. Wolf.
Should I speak, Chesky Wolf?
Yes, go ahead.
I am the rabbi at the Chelsea Synagogue, which is a neighbor to the Hotel Chelsea, and I've been here for about over 15 years. The hotel owners, the current owners, have done a superb job in keeping this neighborhood beautiful. I'm extremely grateful for the plantings. I'm extremely grateful for the outdoor cafe. We run over here a nursery, a preschool. So I know I'm talking about the safety of children from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. It changed dramatically. It's a bunch of very upscale, good people visiting, drinking coffee and things like that. In the evening, a lot of times we have events for our synagogue. Like right now, actually, I just walked out of an event to speak over here, and it really, truly helped us. I'm 100% endorsing and for what Sean is trying to accomplish. as Sean mentioned earlier, I saw what they did and I said, I got to do this in front of my synagogue. It's much nicer. There's a lot of space to walk. Actually, if there's any problems on the block, it's further down with homelessness and scaffolding is the only issue that we had in the past. And the Chelsea Hotel made sure to get rid of the scaffolding as soon as possible. So you have as the actual next door neighbor who has a lot of people walking in and out, I am completely for it. And I thank Sean and everyone else for the beautiful job that they're doing for 23rd Street for this block.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come and say something positive.
Okay,
100%.
Okay, thank you.
good, thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Zalapani, the Vice President of the 200 West 23rd Street, West 24th Street Block Association. And I'm also a 36-year resident of the Hotel Chelsea. So I'm here, I'm glad you read the email we sent you with our comments that we asked our members about the cafes. And I'm speaking for the El Quijote as well. So basically, Sean answered a lot of questions that we had. It's a beautiful, people love it. It brings a lot of life and beauty into the neighborhood. The only thing was this row, which isn't on the diagram of planters, that when the planters extended another 2 feet and then the plants themselves, people would play with them or they would grow and it obstructed the sidewalk. And I was one of the people that was concerned that Celis Manor is down the street and there were I've helped people navigate around them, the planters. But now that it's moved back, the diagram is accurate and it's great. You know, there is one concern that I have. On the diagram, it's not real clear. There's a fire exit. The only stairway B on the east side of the building is the only fire escape. And it is obstructed by an umbrella. You don't see it on the diagram. Tables and planters. I can't imagine if there was a real situation where somebody needed to be taken down in a gurney or a wheelchair or something. It is kind of obstructional, but you don't see it on the diagram. And
Can I speak to that?
well, yeah,
Let's hear from all the community, Sean, and then we'll circle back to you.
Okay, the only thing, and the noise is not an issue at all. You know, it's great. So, that was our concern.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Pamela Wolf.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello again, Pam.
Hello. You're going to get tired of seeing me. I just wanted to say I am right with Sean and with the Rabbi Wolf. I'm very appreciative of the plantings and particularly the landscaping work that that continues to be done. You never see a plant in trouble. You don't see dead twigs sticking out. It's seasonal, and they even managed to keep it looking respectably greened up in the winter months. It's just quite remarkable. I recognize the width of the sidewalk there on 23rd Street. I did not see any issue with the plantings or the planters or the plantings in them. And I just wanted to kick in my 2 cents here and say that it has really changed the whole aspect of the entire block, really. And that Rabbi Wolf took a page from your book and has them over there. Maybe your landscaper can help him with the plantings. keep his as healthy as yours are. Just a thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Sean, did you want to say something about the fire escape?
Yeah, I don't think it's important, but I just want to clarify that anyone in this meeting has heard the ongoing, or hopefully they're not ongoing, they're largely resolved, but the issues with the building and the building department and a few very, very hostile tenants, et cetera. I think that the overwhelming majority of those issues are behind us. I know that the overwhelming majority of the tenants in the building are quite happy not living in a construction site and the building being open and the building being materially safer. But because of a few hostile tenants, we have people from the building department, from the fire department, from effectively every city organization on the property virtually daily. And this fire escape, again, we are operating the hotel, the liability falls upon us, has been reviewed by the building department, by the fire department over and over and over and over and over. It has been resolved. They've been quite content with it. There are no violations for it, et cetera. So it's a non-issue. And we just don't, first off, from the beginning, we've tried to really do the right thing. This is a landmark building. This is a culturally important building that is a labor of love for us. And I think anyone who sees where it is today can feel the emotional investment in this property. And we are really, really genuinely trying to do our best, but we don't have the option of cutting any corners anywhere. We are scrutinized every step of the way, and that fire escape is safe.
So when you say the fire escape has been looked at by the agencies, and that's in connection with what you have there is the sidewalk cafe, right? That's the real issue.
Yeah, and I misspoke. It's not fire escapes exist outside of buildings. It's a fire stair with an exit near the entrance to Cafe Chelsea, virtually next to the entrance, and that stair and the door and the passageway to the street have been scrutinized many times. And I've spent a lot of time personally with different members of the fire department because people call on these things all the time.
Okay, thank you. Nellie, we have one more.
Yeah.
Now, are you moving three over?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to thank the BLP committee and Frank talking about the comments. Whether it's praise or whether it's concerns, there were two people who meshed the two, saying that they do love the plantings, and as long as it's in compliance with the 10 feet, then that would be the best solution, which seems
Seems to be what we arrived at.
Yes, one of the things that Mr. McPherson mentioned was that there were 150 guest rooms. And you did mention in passing some of the tenants. Some of the tenants do use walkers. We mentioned Sellis Manor, so we just wanted to make they want to make sure there was enough clearance. And I'm referencing page 16 of 17 of the Cafe Chelsea photo, where it deals with, if you look on the right side, it deals with an awning that has trees or plantings to the left, as well as a couple of plantings to the right. In that particular photo, it does look less than 10 feet there. And that's
as Sean said, the photos were taken with the cafe set up under a different rule system, the temporary rules, where there only had to be 8 feet. They've only adjusted to the 10 within the past week or two, as I understand it. So the photos predate those changes.
So specifically that particular area in the photo is my question. Everywhere else I can imagine it would be fine. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Do we hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
For both of them?
So this is for 16?
No, not
Just
both, just the first one.
Not at the order.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Two separate.
Well, yeah, but didn't we discuss them together or?
No,
Are you have concerns about?
Take them one at a time.
I think there are concerns about the
It's
second one.
Wait.
Let's vote for
Wait.
that for the 10.
Well, I'd rather do them together because.
I thought we had
Yeah, I
discussed
thought
them
we
both.
had too.
That was my impression.
So let's talk about the second one.
Another plan, a different plan.
It's a different plan, a different plan?
Well, it's another plan.
All right, but it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's similar.
It's
Okay,
10.
they did the survey, so why don't we decide
Well,
on that?
Well, Inga, is there anything different about,
Just that they don't have those, they're probably, I don't know, 8 inches by 8 inches, they're beautiful iron columns that are not on the drawing. And as Tree mentioned, the planters were very close to there and there was less than
So
It
wait,
was like
the iron
7
columns are what, on the side?
Let me speak to that.
Wait,
Can
one
I
second.
clarify?
Wants to explain.
1 second, Sean.
Yeah, they're just, Alan and I measured, those stick way out and the planters were very close, so that
There's
kind
two
of.
decorative iron pillars
Mm,
that hold up the awning that comes out.
Okay.
This is an
good.
LP.
All right, so let's have Sean, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna clarify that there are in fact 4 awning posts that are landmarked. There's 2 for the Hotel Chelsea awning, and there are 2 for the landmarked El Quixote awning. And you're correct. I just noticed that those that the El Quixote awning posts aren't on there. And I didn't do this drawing, but if you look at the drawing, it's quite clear. It has the, you know, the grates and the parking meter, et cetera. I don't know how they were missed, but we will definitely maintain the 10 feet. As I said, it's a 22-foot wide sidewalk and we have plenty of space. This is, I operate a number of places in the city and I don't have anywhere with near the luxury of this sidewalk.
so just have to be 10 feet from those 2 poles back.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Understood.
actually, the poles aren't considered, I don't think they're an obstruction under any of the.
They're in the middle of the sidewalk and
Well,
they're.
that's unfair to say they're in the middle of the sidewalk. They're very close to the curb. They're probably 12 inches away from the curb.
I'm confused. May I,
It's like 7 feet.
may I ask a clarification?
Yeah, they're about a foot and a
I
half.
need a
Wait,
clarification.
please.
I need a clarification. Those poles, they are poles which are closer to the curb?
Closer to the curb.
About a foot and a half away from the edge of the curb.
Oh, okay, so they are close to the curb, therefore they are an
obstruction.
An obstruction. And they are not on the drawing, they
But
need,
they're not on the list, either.
what?
They're not on the list.
It's any obstruction. It says any obstruction for the clear path.
Mhm.
It doesn't say,
That's what we had.
it doesn't have to be on the list. It just
Doesn't?
says-
Okay.
No, no. So so therefore, what we are saying, Sean, is that from those pillars, right, or whatever poles, you need to get 10 feet from those poles.
Yes, and to be clear, I measured everything. That's on the far west side of our property, and I'm 99% sure that we're 10 feet clear, but we can agree to maintain 10 feet clear. As I
Right,
said,
right.
it's not,
That's what, that would be great.
we are a highly visible operation here, and we're not trying to hide anything. We have
No,
4 landmark posts, and as I said,
I
I'm
understand that.
virtually certain that we're 10 feet away, but I don't want to, without
Yeah.
standing the tape measure, but if we're not, we'll
All right, so
actually
that's one thing.
move anything to make sure we're
Yeah.
10 feet as we did with the rest of the
I think we got it.
entire sidewalk.
Okay, thanks for that response.
Now, is there,
Now, can we have the resolution?
Right, I think Christina.
is there an issue of whatever, sandwich boards or anything?
No.
Not on this one.
Not the next one.
Okay, can we have the resolution for both of them now?
Sorry,
Yes.
Bert, we have,
Oh,
Twee's hand is raised again.
No, I think we have to move on.
We heard from,
Spoken,
we heard from Tweet, okay? So
Okay,
let's-
motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, and we're
Thank
doing
you,
both
Gary.
of, with the
And then
16
you're
and 17.
going to put a note that the plan needs to be corrected or?
I don't know.
Okay, all those in favor,
No?
opposed, present not eligible, and abstaining. Okay, on to
We got to get
18,
the answers in 2 fast.
on to 18.
Thank you very
Inga,
much. Hope we
Thank
hope to
you.
see you at the property.
for all the work you've done. And a hearing.
English favorite spot. Coming.
Okay, 18, I visited it and Inga visited it.
Okay.
Mermaid?
Doesn't seem to be any problems.
Right.
3 tables, the wide sidewalk, they meet all the requirements.
Okay,
Anybody?
well, wait, Nellie is the applicant here?
This is the one. They don't come.
I don't see them on.
227. And they were on.
They were.
I saw them. Yeah, they're sitting there. I see them up in the upper left-hand corner of our screen. Blue baseball cap, I believe.
That's my baseball card.
So wait a minute, are we on 405 23rd Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on 405 West 23rd Street, Henry and the Lions. It's a sidewalk cafe. 3 tables, 6 seats.
Okay, now
It's
that,
right on the.
Inga, where do you see them?
It's a huge sidewalk.
wait, what?
Oh, okay.
We gotta talk about the time. It's getting completely confusing.
I was talking.
Okay, but someone was talking online, that's the problem.
Who's talking about
Kelly,
it?
I think.
Nellie, do we have the applicant?
I'm not seeing them.
Okay.
Okay, can you get the applicant to do a STIP form, please?
And what would be the
Yes.
step?
Well, to fill out the,
General.
they agree to our hours,
Oh,
they agree to no
oh.
music, all that
Right.
stuff.
And will they have
Right, it looks like, I'm looking at the pic, oh,
French
my turn.
doors?
Yeah, sure.
Is that right? Okay. So it looks like they have like a gigantic sandwich board.
2 of them.
2 of them. Did you see the size of those?
Yeah, they'll get it.
You could have a homeless person under each of them.
They do sometimes.
Those students.
So anyway,
It's a
I think
community asset.
if they were around, it would be nice to bring that up front.
Yeah, but
They are not there?
no,
I don't know why they're not on.
We
They
can
said
always
they would
do-
be on.
We can always do 311.
oh, do you have contact info for them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, could you work with Nellie and see if they can do a STIP form and talk to them about the.
And remove the sandwich.
And we'll put that in, that they will remove their sandwich boards
Good.
and.
In the state.
Did we get a SIP form the last time they were here and they didn't show up and you helped them look at it?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's the
There might be
second.
one, there might be one floating around.
I know.
They want to
No, I
see you.
voted P and E.
They just wanted to see you.
So I will make sure to tell them that they must remove the sandwich boards because they are illegal. And I know that last time you told them to keep their doors and windows closed when they played live music. I will remind them on the STIP form that they must keep with a sidewalk, they cannot open their doors.
Yeah, because the problem with the prior STIP form does not cover,
Sidewalk,
outdoor space.
right, so I'll have them do a new STIP form and get it to
And
Mel.
make sure they agree to the 10 and 11.
10 and 11, I don't even think they have 10 and 11, I think they have 9 and
Yeah,
Yeah,
11.
they're not open late.
So you want to do a resolution, a motion?
Yeah, why not?
You do the motion with all those things.
Second,
Whoa,
All in favor?
all in favor,
All right.
Peony,
opposed, present not eligible. Abstaining, okay. Just want to remind people or make people aware, it's 8:34. We still have 12 more
I know.
to go,
Yeah.
okay? Item number 20 is 321 West 44th Street, Miss Nellie's.
oh wait,
Joseph
did
and
we do 19?
Did you do this? Oh, no.
from the owner and said I couldn't find my link, sorry, I'm not on.
Okay.
Okay.
I will convey the message.
Item 19 is 318 West 23rd
I'm
Street,
sorry, that's what we're calling it.
Zia Maria. It's a sidewalk.
Again?
Okay, well, let's hear from, Inger and Alan and whoever first, and then we can
This
take.
is Chelsea Hotel again.
No.
No,
Looks like it, right?
No.
No,
Oh, that was, I'm sorry, it's a block away.
yeah,
well, they have really big planters as well.
but as we've heard, they have a wide sidewalk.
They do, however, they agreed also to get rid of some of their planters. I talked to them as well. I spent probably 20 minutes there chatting. It's a nice restaurant. They seemed amenable. They have a tree pit right out in front, so with their planters, it would impede because the planters are gigantic. They're the kind you plant a whole vegetable garden in. But they're getting rid of them, they said, and they had already gotten, they agreed and they know that they have to stay back. They understood it.
Okay, well, let's hear from Robert. Robert, is that your understanding?
Yep, I'm under the same understanding as you guys.
Okay,
And we did do some measurements. We are 10 feet away from the bike rack and the tree.
Right, thank you.
thank you, very good. Okay, all those in
Wait,
favor?
Nellie, anyone from the public?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Thank you, Nellie. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstained. Okay. Now we go on to 20, which is
Hell's Kitchen.
321 West 44th Street, Miss Nellie's. Now, this has nothing to do with you, is it?
Spelled differently.
No.
It's spelled differently.
That's cute, Miss Nelly.
It's again, a sidewalk cafe.
Okay, so I visited this one and it was actually perfectly fine. They blocked out on a piece of sidewalk where there were no obstructions and everything fits.
All right. We love those.
Yes, we do. Anybody from the community, Nellie? Applicant?
There's no one with a raised hand.
I'm
Okay.
here for the applicant.
Okay, it looks like smooth sailing here. Is there anything you wanted to say?
No, if you guys were okay with everything, I'm okay with everything.
What a smart guy.
All
Very
right.
good. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible, abstaining. Okay,
First Street.
21, 369 West 51st Street, Aria, a sidewalk cafe.
So this is another one. The original plans were slightly problematic because the tree pit was in the wrong place. I talked to Robert's colleagues earlier today, and he submitted a new plan, which it relocates the tables, they lose a seat, but it allows them to clear the tree pit. So I think the new drawing is fine.
What about the enclosure?
Oh, well, the enclosure's gone.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm
again, Robert, can you remind them that when it gets cold again, they can't put up that massive storm enclosure?
No
It's
storm.
gotta be 18 inches, which they previously agreed to.
Yes.
No, it's just no enclosure, it's not an enclosed pen. Look at this.
Okay.
Sorry, what? Are you talking about the storm enclosures? I mean, these.
Was it the whole
Yeah,
front?
no.
Yeah,
I mean, they had an enclosure of the whole cafe.
right, but which,
I'm good.
okay. Yeah, and Robert, this is obvious. They can't enclose their cafe going forward. I guess it had been previously enclosed. And that includes even the sides. As you know, all they can have is the 2 foot 6 inch barriers and planting on top of that, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes. We did remind them multiple times that they can't have the enclosure.
Okay.
But you did that multiple times,
Multiple times.
which means they weren't listening to you?
They like to
Yeah.
talk to Michael and then they'll try and talk to, it's one of those, they like to try and get different answers from different people. But since we all have the same answer of no, they're finally like, okay, we got it.
This is fun.
Okay,
Well, Michael was able to persuade them pretty quickly today to agree to a
Oh,
new
yeah.
plan, so.
Oh, you know how Michael works.
Yeah.
He gets the point through to them very fast.
okay, Christine,
Motion,
all those in
You asked
favor?
about the community, so.
no.
No, anybody from the community?
Second.
Right.
I
Okay,
guess not. All those in favor?
yes.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay. Item number 22.
So much.
the
Everybody have a
Mermaid-
great night. And
Okay,
good luck
done.
with everything.
All right.
Okay, you have a good night
Thank
also
you.
as well.
Take care.
Good night.
With you.
Next is a roadway roadway shed from the Mernway Inn, 227 10th Avenue. Is the applicant here?
I'm here.
Okay,
That looks good.
any questions, comments?
Simple.
Yeah,
Simple.
I had a question,
Sure.
when, on page 7, did you fill out the STIP form or did your lawyer do that?
No, I did it.
Okay, so there's a question that says, if amplified sound is played inside, will windows and doors be closed? You said no, let's discuss. But this is something you agreed to, you said yes to it back in 2019. So have you changed your mind or what did you want to discuss about it?
I just want to discuss because I just don't think that the background music that we play in the restaurant at a very normal volume
emanates onto the street and there's a disturbance. And we have that garage door that kind of opens up the whole restaurant to the street. And I don't want to have to shut that garage door or shut the music. It just seems like, you know, we're a sit-down restaurant. We're not a club, we're not a bar. Music's very low inside.
Well, the issue is, can you hear it on the sidewalk? I mean, that's what the legal standard is.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
As long, I mean, put it still, as long as it's not heard on the sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
Ask now, they just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, so, we'll just put in a skip that says, you know, no indoor music will be heard on the sidewalk, okay?
Okay.
And the other thing is that in the outdoor seating, you cannot have any music, right?
Correct. We don't have any music
Alright.
out there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I walked by this morning and
Oh,
the
yeah?
shed was out there already. Was it being just delivered?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it shipped from Ohio. It's made out of a shipping container. So very sturdy.
From Ohio. Okay.
Very good.
Nothing close by to give you the shed?
What's that?
I said nothing closer
Could
yield
build
the
the
shed for you? Nothing in New York?
No, it's difficult to make those things and take them apart and then store them for the winter. So
Okay.
yeah, we found a company that stores them, refurbishes them.
That's good.
If our state assembly member gets his way, you won't have to store it. It could be all year round. That's Tony Simone has a resolution.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get rid of it.
So Ingrid, do we have any issues with the roadway deck?
No.
Not on this one.
Okay.
No. Okay, anybody from the community, Nellie?
There's no one with the raised hand.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Yes, second.
For number 22. All in favor? Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining.
And Nellie, I think Henry and the Lions are online now. They just wanted to come on and say thank you. They figured out how to log in.
I'm sorry, Inga, say that again.
Henry and the Lions, I think someone's on now. They just texted me. They wanted to say thank you. They just figured out how to log in.
I don't see them on. Hold on.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I love the Mermaid Inn.
Oh, good. Thanks. Come by and visit.
And thank you for the flower tree pit, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I mentioned to a couple of people, they've sponsored the new tree pit on the corner of 23rd and 10th on the outside of the bike lane. And I got the towers promised to water them, so thank you. As soon as the tree's in, I'll go look for flowers. And they also said they would build a guard around it.
Oh, nice.
To save it from all the dogs. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to be there.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you didn't see
Oh,
anybody?
here's somebody.
Oh, I
Haven't
see.
they live?
They didn't use the link, the Zoom link that I sent them as panelists. They registered as attendees.
Okay, so what's going?
We just want to
I just want to say hello.
Okay, did you move them over?
I'm moving them over now.
Okay. This is, these are people from item number 18,
Yeah, we
405
got-
West 23rd.
Just keep in mind, I think we have at least an hour to go. if we don't
No.
speed up. You don't know what's at the end of this.
We're moving. Well, let's keep going.
Okay, so let's go. Nellie, are they here?
Yes, I just moved them over. Bruce, you can
Okay.
unmute.
Hi,
Hi, Bruce, go ahead, please.
do you see me?
We hear you, so you can just talk.
Jeff, how it doesn't go mute? No, how can I see? Do you see me? I don't see my face over there.
Yeah, we don't think it's right.
We don't need
Your camera must be on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for the some point my computer doesn't go through. I think my keypad has issues. Anyhow, hello everybody. My name is Bruce Lim, the owner of the Henry and the Lions restaurant, located at 405 West 23rd Street in the London Terrace building.
Okay, so Bruce, we already voted on this. We just thought you wanted to say hello to us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
We took care of it.
so Inga's gonna work with you to get a new stipulation form filled out. Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you. Item number 23, 628 9th Avenue, Nitsa. It's a sidewalk cafe.
Okay, so 20, I think we need to talk about them a little separately, but 23, 24, and 25 are the sidewalk cafes. The places all are under common ownership. It's the length of the film center building where some of you may know this office will be relocated, hopefully in a few months. But the restaurants sort of are different parts of that whole building between 44th and 45th.
So we have three there. We have
have three.
Nitsa, the 5 Napkin Burger, and Marseille, all sidewalk cafes.
Nellie is the applicant here.
Yes, the applicant's here. They just need to unmute.
Hi, who's the applicant, Nellie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, hi there.
And
Can you tell us who you are, please? Yeah, sorry, you're still on mute.
Sorry, you unmuted and then muted again. Now you're good. Don't touch anything.
All right, I'm good right now.
Yeah.
How you doing,
Okay.
everyone?
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you.
you're
We
the
just
applicant
submitted
for,
our updated cafe as per the DOT requirement. We had to update the cafe planning. We submitted that, was approved by the DOT. So I'm here, the community board, to get approval from you. We did lose some tables, but it is, we understand it's better for the community and some of the tree and some of the things that we have in the neighborhood. You should all have the copy of the plan.
which,
Are you speaking to all three? You're
Yes,
representing
I am.
all three of the restaurants?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
okay.
All right, so before we get to the floor plans, I live around the corner and you have serious sidewalk obstructions apart from the sidewalk cafe. You put out these big signboards that are outside the sidewalk cafe and block the sidewalk.
You mean a
can't do that.
sandwich board?
What?
You mean sandwich board?
They're even worse than sandwich boards. They're like these metal things with signs hanging down from them. You have a big menu board outside, 5 Napkin Burger. If you want any of those things, they can only be within your sidewalk cafe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, understand. The menu board on 5 Napkin Burger is right adjacent to the restaurant. It's not on the
it's more
sidewalk.
Nitsa. The biggest problem is Nitsa. And the middle part of 5 Napkin Burger. You have these signs that hang down on like a metal frame, and they're always in the middle of the sidewalk. And whenever I ask someone to move them, they ignore it. So it's very troubling.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Okay.
We'll comply
So
with
in the
that.
future, whatever we agree to about the perimeter of the cafe here, if you're gonna keep them, they have to be within the sidewalk cafe, okay?
I understand.
All right.
And you need to train your staff, because different people set up on different days, that's what we're finding.
Yeah.
Tell all of your staff so that everybody knows.
Or better yet, don't use them.
Yeah.
And then the other thing come winter is your storm enclosures.
No,
You
definitely.
have, you have.
We'll make every
massive
effort.
ones. People could live in there.
And
they
you have
can't.
3 of them.
Yeah, and you have,
4 of them.
actually you have 4 of them. You even have them for doors you don't want people to use. So you can't have them. They can only be 18 inches. They can't be that big.
18 inches from.
18 inches from the building facade. And for 5 Napkin Burger, both Marseille and 5 Napkin Burger have vestibules. There's no reason, you know, you have outer doors and inner doors. There's no reason you need a storm enclosure at all. But you certainly can't have ones that big. Okay? Right, we're not,
Could you
that's
repeat that
not
one
our
more time?
request.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry?
No, I did not hear clearly. Could you repeat that one more
Okay,
time?
so in the cold weather, you put up those plastic booths around the doors. You know, the things that people go through to get in.
No, he doesn't understand.
Okay.
Door enclosures.
So you know outside of your restaurant, the thing that you put up outside of your restaurant when it's cold, just
Around the doors.
Around the doors,
The wind resistance.
kind of your exterior door that you add during the winter.
The vestibule you're talking about, okay.
Vestibules, exactly. So those vestibules are also called storm enclosures. They can only be 18 inches from the building, and yours right now are extending far beyond that. So this is just us telling you that those right now are illegal, and you need to have your storm enclosures just be 18 inches, or.
We
the
did
vestibule
receive a letter and.
Okay.
We did what?
Sorry?
Yeah, vestibules are gone right now. The winter is gone. I will make sure before the next winter, we have the right size vestibule put on.
Okay, which is 18 inches. 18 inches. Okay. So Christine, let's look at NITSA.
I'm making a note.
Okay, and about the signboards and things. So Christine, with NITSA, the only issue is this tree fit measuring thing from the corners.
And the bike rack. They measured at 5 feet. Did you see that? This is like.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, they're doing 10 feet.
So I think the problem we have is what we had at Empire Diner, which is which is first it's zigzag, but then, you know, one of the smart lawyer has gone to DOT and say, hey, why don't we measure 8 feet from the corners instead of 10 feet? That's not written anywhere.
No.
It's not, was not voted, it's not part of the rules. And so my view is that at this stage, we should continue to deny.
Exactly.
Unless we go for the 10 feet, because that measurement, I mean, you know, it doesn't give you the clear path we are entitled to. So that would be, I mean, you know, unless the applicant would agree to remove, you know, 1, 2, and 3 tables.
To make it.
3 tables would.
The applicant's not gonna do, their lawyer isn't here. He's
No,
not.
I'm just saying, I mean, you know, the applicant.
Yeah, so what would we need them to do, Christine?
We would need to remove, if I start from the south,
Yeah.
right? Where we have 2 tables, it would be 1 table.
So one of the 4 top would have to go.
One of the 4 top,
Yeah.
then that other single one would have to
So
go,
they could only have 1 table on the south end.
right? And then on the other side, one of the 4 table, one of the 4 top would have to go.
Okay,
And you're talking about NITSA only.
yes, because they have slightly separate issues.
Right.
Okay.
So.
Just to let you know, we already lost 40% of our tables. If you look at our previous plan, we had from 10 tables, we went down to 4 tables. Matter of fact, we lost 60% of our tables, according to the new DOT rules. So this is the best case scenario, and this was approved by the DOT. If you look at our previous plan, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 tables. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tables.
Sure, no, I know that, as I said, I walk by there, a lot of us walk by there every day. We basically have a difference of opinion with your lawyers, but how you have to measure. So we are gonna continue taking a position, that we have in the past, that, you need to measure 10 feet from all sides of the tree pit.
And by the way, we have seen there are some application in this pile which are measuring 10 feet from the corners. So there is one lawyer. There is, just give me 1 second, I'll finish that. So there is one lawyer who has decided that this was a good idea to do it, to go around the rules. And then the other people are just using the 10 feet and say, yeah, I have to measure from the corner 10 feet, which is the logical explanation. So I don't think, so I'm just saying that other lawyers have already different.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
So we're not asking, I don't think you're gonna agree to this, particularly without your lawyer here. But we are going to object to this with the DOT because of the measurements around the tree pit and the bike rack.
Right.
Okay? I mean, I'm not asking you to agree, I'm just telling you what we're
So
gonna do.
No, I understand. I just want to understand clearly. So the measurement from the tree bed, you want it to be 10 feet?
We want it to be
Yes.
10 feet from the corners as well as the middle.
Right. And same thing for the bike racks.
And in other words, what the rule says is that you need a 10-foot clear path along the sidewalk for pedestrians. And the way this is set up, you don't have 10 feet because of at the corners of the tree pit, you only have 8 feet. See what I'm saying? And again, this is the way your lawyers advise you. We're not, we just disagree with the way your lawyers are interpreting the rules. So we're just gonna continue, and we've done this with other applications that your lawyers have done. We just continue to assert our position.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay,
Are we voting on that?
Yeah, we should vote this separately.
anybody from the community now?
There's no one with the well, there's one person with a raised hand.
Okay, Scott.
Sorry, I haven't done this before.
Welcome,
so
Scott.
I appreciate everything you said, and I don't really have any substantive comments. I guess my one request would be that the applicant agree to revise its setup today to conform with their proposed plan, and not to continue to have on the sidewalk the setup that they previously had. I know that is not required, but I think it is good faith request.
Actually, it may be required now that the DOT is giving provisional approvals.
Because I believe that all of these setups, 5 Napkin, Niza, and Marseille, they all have their setups up now, and they're all as they were in the past, not as they are proposed to be in these applications. Sorry, that's all I have.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
point. Okay, back to the applicant.
Where is it?
Yep. Did you hear what that person said? So going forward, can you set up all 3 of these cafes the way they are in these plans?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
10 feet.
But like when?
You can do it starting this week?
Starting this weekend.
Okay.
Well, you
Thank
didn't say that.
You said this
He
weekend?
said this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you want to take a vote on each? So again,
Yes.
we'd be denying because of this difference of opinion on the tree pit issue.
So.
Okay.
Separately, what do we have here? 623 first?
Yeah, this is
628, 9,000, yes.
Okay, and the resolution
So
is,
it's motion to deny.
okay, is there a second? All those in favor of denying as is?
Deny means some.
Okay. Present not eligible, abstaining, opposed? Okay,
Okay. So moving on to 24, 5 Napkin Burger. The only issue is the same one. As you can see from the tree pit on 9th Avenue and the signpost on, actually, they're okay on the signpost.
this is treatment.
The 45th is the street side is okay. So it's just that tree pit. And Christine, I guess you'd say they need to reduce the 2 adjacent 4 tops to 2 tops.
Let me see. Yeah. Well, only one of them.
Well, no, wait. it's-
One on each side.
One on each side.
Right.
But we can keep one table, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one at the end, because if the 8 from the signpost, right? No?
Oh, yeah, I see. On the south end.
Right,
Yeah.
the south end.
Okay.
So essentially, they would be, right, yes.
So 24 resolution is,
The same, deny unless.
okay, all those.
Oh, wait, wait 1 second. Scott, Scott, if you still want to be heard, keep your hand up. You want to be heard on, 5 Napkin Burger, otherwise you can put your hand down. Now, it looks like you should move him over. And you might as well keep him here for Marseille too, because he probably will speak on that.
Sorry. So the one thing that I noticed on this is that the stand pipe that's on the south end of the setup, and you can see that in the NISA diagram, is not present in the 5 napkin diagram, and so I think the table there it needs to be moved.
And wait, where is it? Is it on the street or on the avenue?
On the avenue.
Oh, I see. It's on the avenue, Christine. If you look at both plans together, on the south end, between 5 Napkin Burger and Nizza, which abut each other. So on the south end, there's a standpipe on the Nizza drawing. That doesn't show up on the 5 Napkin drawing.
So those 2 tables would go.
Yeah, it looks like both of them
Anyway.
have to go.
Right.
So, and my other comment on this one is that on the street side, they somehow magically have the same number of tables in this diagram that they currently have on the street, and yet they found 10 extra feet to fit around the standpipe. And so I guess my question is, are they buying different tables to fit in the same space? Sorry, that did all. I can be going off.
God, he has to come on to
So back to side, did you hear that question, which
Yeah, I
is?
did hear that question. We did measure the tables and the seating properly, and this is how it fits. We did leave out the 5 feet from both sides of the standpipe, and you're more than welcome to come and inspect. All the measurements are correct.
Okay, Scott, you think they could just push the tables closer together? Is that what they're doing?
We had the table spread out a little bit more. We just put it a little bit closer to them.
Okay.
It's possible. I question whether it will stick.
All right. Well, Si, just keep in mind that there are a lot of people who live very near this who know the way it's supposed to be set up now. So, please try to have your staff do it the right way. So you have
We've been in the neighborhood since 2001, and we are part of the community. We want to make sure that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, aside from, I actually think you're a good operator. I eat at your places all the time.
Thank you.
It's just been, there has been a lot of sidewalk clutter. Not so much the cafes, but all the other junk the signs and the store enclosures and all that.
No, definitely I understand, and with this new DOT plans, I had the inspector come in, measure everything. We did lost significant number of tables on all
No, I
three
know that,
restaurants.
yeah.
More in Nitsa than anywhere else. That's the middle of the block restaurant, and anyway.
Okay.
So the resolution for 24
It's
is?
the same as the last
The
one.
same one, deny, and then you want to mention the
This is
pipes.
standpipe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Item
So,
number 25.
so we did a vote?
Oh, we need a vote.
Motion
Oh,
to deny.
Motion to deny.
Second.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
All right.
Five now from Burger.
Same thing.
Okay, now we're down to Marseille, number 25.
So this one I actually think is okay.
6:30.
Seems if you disagree, but they seem to get. I mean, there's a bit of juggling with the indentations, but not anything major.
Let me see,
And then,
because I saw it and I made, okay, so on the side street, they're okay, right?
yeah, because it's 8
Right.
feet and they've,
And then on the front seats,
those gray things are on the sidewalk. right?
parking meter, this one, they measured at 10, which is
Yeah,
interesting,
I
right?
know.
But everything else is 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks good.
I think that's
Okay. So we have a resolution?
Well, anyone from the,
We asked about
okay,
that.
all right. So Si, one other thing I forgot. In the winter, in other years, you put up plexiglass sides on the sidewalk cafe.
We did
Can't
that
do
during,
that.
yeah, we
Yeah,
used
you
to do
can't
that during the COVID. Yeah, we
Yeah, but you
stopped.
can't do that anymore, so come this winter, all you can have are like 2.5 foot dividers, you can't have those plexiglass walls.
No, yes, no, I totally understand. We got rid of them. We don't have any storage area. We got rid of the street cafe. So keep the area
Okay.
clean.
Okay,
Okay,
Thank you.
great,
so resolution,
Yeah, vote to approve.
yeah,
all those in favor, opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay, 26 has been withdrawn, so we're moving on to 27. 405 West 51st Street, this is the last side, roadway.
okay, and
Who visited that?
I did, and you gotta give me
Who gave you that?
a moment to get
A moment.
organized here with
Go ahead.
paperwork.
Well,
And this is, there are no issues with this. It's a roadway cafe. If you see from the floor plan, they have a lot of remarkably generous space compared to everybody else. They have 15 feet and only have 3 tables. So I don't have any issues with this.
Okay, anybody else? Resolution? All those in favor?
Community, sorry.
Oh, community, no community, okay.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay, item 28 on the agenda, 607 10th Avenue, Mimic. This is a sidewalk cafe.
Okay, so, Meme, all the dimensions work.
Okay.
The only question I have, and we'll see if the applicant's here, is I'm not sure they previously had those 2 tables on 44th Street. And that's the corner of 44th and 9th. You have the high school, you have the 2 schools.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, the school traffic there, several times a day.
But there is space, right?
There is space for them, they fit. I just was flagging it if anyone's sort of bothered by it.
It's new.
What?
It's just new.
Hi,
Hi,
good to see you.
Good to
In
see
the
you too.
past, Did you have those 2 tables on 44th Street or is that something new?
I don't, but if it bothers you, the school is in the daytime, I can put these tables only at night. I don't mind doing that.
Oh, yeah, if you do that, that would be great.
I have no
So-
problem with that, yeah.
So you won't put them out for lunch, you just do it when school's over?
I don't need that for lunch, but in dinner, sometimes 2 tables could help,
Okay.
Okay, very
Good
good.
neighbor,
Yes.
good neighbor,
I live in the neighborhood, so I'm a good neighbor,
good
Yeah.
neighbor.
I live half a block away too, now he's a good neighbor.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, that would be appreciated.
All right.
Okay, no problem at all.
Okay.
Motion.
Wait, now.
Oh, that was the
community.
fastest today.
Somebody here, Scott is here again.
Scott?
Scott is going to become a public member.
Yeah, Scott, you're gonna be drafted onto this committee. soon.
I spent too much time. So, and listen, I'm being quick and just saying what I need to say and getting off. So these guys, they have the thicker stanchions or whatever you want to say, the dividers. So I just want to make sure that the dividers are not outside of the perimeter, right? So like the extra foot that the planters add is accounted for inside, not outside.
Okay, no problem at all.
Well, I have to say, and I will just make this comment and get done again, but 44 and X, who we approved the last 2 or 3 weeks ago or whatever, you guys approved, like they have the same planters out there today, even though I think they agreed when you approved them to change them.
Okay, I'll talk to the lawyer.
All right, I'm done. Thanks. Have a good night. Appreciate it.
Okay,
I live
and
near Frank.
Scott, bear in mind that sidewalk has, the clear path there only has to be 8 feet, not 10. So it's actually, you know, I think even with their planters, they might fit, but.
There is 8 feet.
Yeah.
There is 8 feet for sure.
That's what it just when I did the math, it seemed kind of tight on the inside. But
Okay, you know that's okay.
Okay,
No problem.
motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, person not eligible, abstaining.
Done.
Okay, 29.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Galaxy, another one.
Thank you for hanging around with us.
No problem. I like to hear it. I like to see what's going on in the neighborhood. It's good.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, 29, 665, 9th Avenue, Galaxy Diner, another sidewalk cafe. Is the applicant here, Nellie?
And another collection of 8 feet.
Yes, the applicant's here.
Well, the 8 feet is this 46 feet, most of this is on 46.
What?
It's on the side street.
Most of this is on 46, the long end is all on the side street. So it only has to be 8 feet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
the only
okay.
part on 9th is that 3 top on the right.
Which is ridiculous.
Right, which is annoying, but.
It's going to be so, yeah, but they did the tree 8 feet there. Same thing.
Okay.
We have
Now
to
leave the
remove that table.
Can you bring the applicant in, Nellie?
They have to
Please?
remove that table.
The applicant is on, they just need to unmute.
What?
Okay,
Okay, there you are, unmuted. Hello.
yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So
My name
we're
is-
perfectly okay with all your tables on 46th Street, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes,
The question is that 3 top on 9th Avenue. And do you really need that for one table? I mean, it's gonna really create a lot of congestion and you're only gonna get 3 seats there.
the way that it's shown in the plan, he showed that it's, the distance and everything is far enough away from there. And basically, when we open the front there with the tables on the inside, it's just something that's, I don't know if we're gonna be using it so much for 3 people or 2 people, but we have our menu against the wall there. See where the.
Well, but it's a different thing if you're going to put a small table there
Yeah.
and
I
put
mean,
your
if it's-
menu on it. And put
if
your
it's
menu on
clear-
it.
If it's clear from everything that we need it to be, we would like to have something in the front there instead of nothing at all.
Well, what you need is 10 feet from the tree pin. And it
Yeah.
looks like you only have 8 feet.
Right. see-
I don't know
Well,
what the
yeah.
exact distance is.
That's the way the plan reads, but I'm coming back to what do you need the little table for? And if the little table is there to have your menu and, you know, your advertisement, etc., it doesn't need to be on your sidewalk cafe.
In other words, could you have a smaller
If
table?
even 2 people are sitting there, it's more of the atmosphere than it is anything else, really. I mean, it's not that it's gonna, it's just
I think
something.
a lot of people are not going to sit there, sitting at one single table in the middle, all by yourself in the middle of the sidewalk. We would like very much if you could remove that table.
If the distance is not correct, I wouldn't have an
Yes.
issue. But if the distance is that we're okay with everything there, I would like to keep at least that one table there.
But the distance is not correct, because
I
there
don't
is a
understand
way
why
of.
because the person who made our plans went according to what DOT's, plans were.
Okay, so I don't know if you were listening when we were
Yeah,
talking
no,
about.
I was hearing from
Marseille, so
you.
this is the same issue that Five Napkin Burger and Pizza have, which is, we believe the correct reading of the rules is that you have to have 10 feet from all corners of the tree pit,
Okay.
which you don't have. The
So
people
you
who do
don't-
your diagrams and certain lawyers disagree with us and say you only need 8 feet from the corners and 10 feet from the center of the tree pit. So
But is
that's
it
the
actually,
difference. So that's
is
the
it
difference.
actually, is it different with DOT and the community board, or is it something that's, I don't understand where the difference is,
Well,
because they're,
the problem is that the DOT, the rules do not talk about that 8 feet. The rules talk about the 10 feet. So the rules, the published rules are saying you need to have 10 feet. And then there is some, discussion with inside DOT who has said, well, maybe it's 8 feet, but we're not sure.
So,
But as it is, it's 10 feet.
Yes.
yeah, we believe it's 10 feet. DOT, we cannot say that DOT agrees with us. I mean, we have been making this objection, but I don't want to tell you that DOT necessarily agrees with our position.
So the situation here is that if you remove that table, we're going to say we approve the whole setup. If you don't remove the table, we're going to have to deny it because of this measurement.
but to remove the table, I have to go back and make plans again and do everything all over again? Because I mean, we paid for
you
that.
can say now
We
that,
can just
okay,
say
I'll
that-
remove it.
Yeah,
Just
that
agree
you have
with us,
agreed
it's
to it.
fine.
We can just say you have agreed to remove and change the plan, and that's where we are.
Christine, how about a two-top, with the smaller table work?
Say that again?
I just want to ask Christine.
I don't think so.
But you see how much smaller the small tables are?
Well,
But that's
that's
what I
the
was
only
saying.
thing, that's the only thing we wanted to do, was to put a small, like a two-top, just for two
How
people
about
to
if
sit
that's a
there. Now,
two-top?
This is the two top.
No, that's a three-top. See how much bigger it is than the ones on the side street?
Oh, okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay,
So-
how about,
But I am, okay,
go ahead.
go ahead,
No.
I'm fine.
All right, I was gonna say, would you agree to, instead of having that square table, could
You
you
have
put
just-
one of the narrower tables that you have on
Well,
46th Street?
Definitely, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
Okay.
do that. I mean, I thought that that's what it showed there, but the third seat, didn't make any sense on the,
Right,
because
and
the
the
third
table's
seat is
bigger.
where, that's what's taking the most space, is putting the
Yeah.
other seat there.
And the
Right.
table is bigger.
And the table's bigger, it's a square table.
Yes. The two
So
top
we'll
is
say
fine.
that you
The
agree
same as the
that,
side, the same as the side,
okay.
yeah,
okay,
definitely. We can do
very
that.
good, thank you.
I mean, we've, like the previous people said, we've lost more than half of what the tables we've
No,
always
and
had.
believe me, I
Forever.
live in the neighborhood, so I know, plus you have all those new,
Yeah, you
traffic
were there the
lights
other
and things
morning.
on the corner there. Every
The other
time I
morning,
walk
you
by,
said.
they've built something new there.
Exactly, yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I do
Okay,
remember.
so motion to approve with the change.
Yeah, the two top,
All
the
those
two
in
top would be fine.
favor, opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. It passes. Thank you
for your
being
flexible.
flexible, that's the word. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 30, 701 9th Avenue, Moms Midtown. Again, sidewalk traffic.
Okay, so we got a letter from, Elkie Fears at the, West 47th, 48th Street Block Association, who says The 9th Avenue sidewalk seems fine, and Brian Connell has been a good and supportive neighbor, but then she adds, there is one resident who objected to any sort of seating on the side of West 48th Street because the sidewalk just wasn't wide enough. This is one Ted looked at, and he unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but he texted me that it all looks okay to him. Christine, I don't know if you've taken a look or not.
No, it looks okay.
Okay.
Good.
The only question is. No. That's fine.
Okay.
Anybody from the community, Ally?
No one with a raised hand.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
All those in favor, opposed, present not eligible, abstained. Okay, item number 31, which is our last item.
No.
Thank you.
Can we please keep going?
You can keep going if you want. I don't.
We're
And
not,
in the 701 9th Avenue, they have a mix of measurement. Some measurement are 10 feet, some measurement at 8 feet, you know, and the circle, it's all over the place. It makes no sense.
But Ted's pretty good, right?
It makes no sense.
Okay.
well, you can vote.
We just vote.
Yeah, we overlooked it. That's
We overlooked.
we overlooked it.
Okay, item 31, 801 9th Avenue, normal sidewalk. access. You said you allowed them to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So. This has been the subject of a lot of complaints from a resident of this building as well as the 4954 block association. We approved their roadway, but they've now told me, and I believe told Nellie, that they're not gonna have the road. They're only gonna have the sidewalk seating. So the issue with this is a planter issue. They have, as you'll hear from probably community members, they have these massive planters that they're using as dividers. And it would be very hard to fit those within the perimeter of the cafe. But apart from that, it's actually pretty good. Christine, but the issue you're gonna see is that traffic signal at the corner.
Yeah.
But this is one of those where it's not directly opposite either part of the cafe,
Right.
so they're allowing the 8 feet.
What's the pool box?
It's
It's
flat on the ground.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay.
it's not a sidewalk grade, it's a metal, it's like a thing to let you
Like
get
a
in.
grate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's full metal, but it's something you can unscrew to get into the sidewalk. But it's not theirs, it's a city thing, I believe, but that's not an obstruction in any sense.
Yeah, but the traffic signal, I mean, they should
Okay.
lose one table.
Any other comments from the?
Well, we have written comments from the Block Association and from the resident, but let's see who's, Andrew's here.
Andrew.
Shouldn't they lose more? 2 tables, one on each side of the corner?
Well, no, I think it's 10 feet.
But the 10 feet
They're showing 10 feet from the building. to
from the
curb.
building to the sidewalk.
Then you have tables in there.
No, there was a little arrow there.
Oh.
There's a little section.
Oh, I see it, I
You
see
see,
it.
there is a teeny tiny section with 8.
Oh, it's 4 feet.
Right.
Yeah, the sidewalk there is 14 feet, 7 inches.
Right.
Okay.
So this should be losing
Okay.
one. That's
Just
for
the
sure.
corner one, right?
So the one across from the pullback,
No, the
Yeah.
whole thing doesn't count. It's like
right,
Yeah, but from the traffic signal.
from the traffic
Yeah,
signal,
right.
that's the table they need to lose.
Yeah.
To get
Uh,
10
but
feet.
On the other side, 53rd Street, that is an 8-foot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right, so
That's
it's
right.
just that one table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should lose it, it's 2. That's the corner.
Okay, we
So
have
who
one
do we
community
have?
member, Andrew.
Hi, I know it's
Oh.
been a long meeting. Bert, I'm gonna miss you. Thanks for everything. Just a couple of things. I know it's late and I apologize, right? We haven't had the owners show up anywhere, any of these meetings for the shed, for the sidewalk, or block associations, any of it. Are they supposed to put a fence around where the plants are? Is
Yes.
that correct? Okay.
Yes.
And then the
Well,
plant,
they can have the plants, but the plants would have to be within the perimeter of the cafe. You still need
Okay.
the 8 feet to 10 feet.
But they still need a barrier, don't they?
Well, the plants are barriers. They're like long.
Oh,
Right, but then that cuts their 4 feet down to 2 feet. Those planters look like they were 2 feet
Yeah.
themselves.
Okay.
But they have to
But,
be within the
but
boundaries.
theoretically, Andrew, they could use planters as long as they don't mind losing the space in their sidewalk cafe.
Right, because
Should-
it has to be within
should-
the boundaries.
so basically they can't have anything outside of the boundaries of their cafe. No plants,
Exactly.
no
that's
nothing.
right.
No
Nothing
stations.
outside the
Okay.
boundaries.
Okay, so I'm going to keep going with my questions, if that would be okay. So I'm looking at the floor, at the plan that I guess you folks have, and it looks like, are they going to be able to serve people on 53rd Street without like carrying the food through the pedestrian walkway, the 8 feet? Or how will they serve the people on 53rd Street?
Right, it's only 4 feet.
But do they have a door on, don't they have a door on,
No.
they have
No.
a door on 53rd?
At the
No, they do not. They just have a cellar.
Okay.
And that goes along that discussion we were having about those two tables, which are on lines, which are very, very narrow, right? Well, there is really no way that you can serve through that, right?
Again, it's one of those.
So they should be really losing 2 tables there.
Well,
In addition,
now they only have 3 there, in fact. I'm not sure 4 would fit even apart from the service.
Right.
I would just mention that the current setup they have now replicates what they had during the pandemic. So basically, the waiters are serving 4 tops through the bushes all around.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you
I
can.
think that's the applicant.
4 foot.
Nelly, did you move, I think that's the applicant with his hand up, or their hand up?
Yeah, those 2 don't belong.
Any other comments, Andrew?
Yeah, I have some other comments, right? So basically, they mention in the application about music inside, but they might have the windows open. So Steve and I had to go over there in the beginning of the pandemic about music that we can hear on the outside. They have a awning. They had a giant vestibule during the winter, and they also had an enclosed sidewalk cafe, among other things. And there's no wait area. So they get a lot of clients that are just standing in the middle of 9th Avenue because there's nowhere to go. So those are my main concerns. It's really the clear path.
They did take down the enclosure as they agreed to. When they came for the roadway, we told them they had to take down the enclosure, and they did promptly.
Yes, it's down now. But the outdoor cafe or the sidewalk cafe, it looks right now like it did prior to these plans.
They're still allowed to do that.
Right.
Okay.
They should lose those 2 tables.
Yeah.
Well, is the applicant here?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? This is Min, and I'm here to represent Norma.
Okay.
Yes. So the plant box first.
You can talk first, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Speaking of the plant boxers first, I had a communication with the business owner, Mr. Bondi, and he agreed to remove all the plant box. So, which means they're gonna have enough space for the space to serve the food around the tables. And they will have just regular thin barricade for the sidewalk cafe to separate the area. And speaking of the 2 tables by the pool box, if you think those are too narrow for the servers to deliver the food, we can communicate with the discuss with the owner to remove those tables as well.
Okay, so this is the issue. They can't, as you know, they have to serve the whole sidewalk cafe from within the sidewalk cafe,
Yes.
right? They can't do it from the sidewalk, the clear path. So it doesn't seem like, and I take it to serve those tables around the corner on 53rd Street. The food has to come from 9th Avenue, right? There's no other door on 53rd Street?
No.
Correct.
Okay, Andrew, we're talking with the applicant now. So you see, we're saying, how would, if you keep those two tables near the corner, how do the servers get?
But I think he said if we need to remove.
Well, he said he talked to him, I just
Yes.
want to make sure he understands the logic.
Okay.
So see, that's why we need them, we don't think they can get through to serve the tables on 53rd Street.
Without removing.
Right.
Okay. Noted. So those two tables by the corner and then up on the 9th Avenue, right?
Yeah,
By the pool box.
the ones where there's, you can see there's, where it gets narrower there, and you don't even have any kind of service aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we want you to remove those two.
In that way, when they're removed, anybody who's doing the serving will stay within the boundaries of the sidewalk cafe.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, can you, do you need to talk to the owner, or can you agree to that, or?
Yes. I will instruct the owner and then.
Well, can you call me and let me know if the owner agrees or not?
Yes, I will get back to you like as soon as possible, but high chance that he will agree to like what have been discussed here and
Okay.
we'll remove the two tables.
All right.
Thank you.
And your office has my phone number, so you know how to call me. And then I'd like to, just because of some of the problems we've had, I'd like to have some other additional steps. That there's not gonna be any outdoor music.
No music.
Okay, there's no enclosing of the sidewalk cafe. You can't put up the walls again.
No, sir.
Everything has to be within the cafe perimeter, all planters and anything. Nothing can be in the clear path.
Yes.
Okay? And then if you have umbrellas, because I think you've had them in the past, the umbrellas, including the top of them, have to be within the sidewalk cafe. They can't stick out on the sidewalk.
Yes, sir. We have instructed the owner about that as
So if you
well.
have umbrellas, they're gonna have to be pretty small umbrellas. And
Understood.
they have to be at least 7 feet high and no higher than 10 feet. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so please call me to confirm all that.
We'll do that.
so we're gonna vote on a resolution that incorporates all of those changes.
Right.
Right. And if you,
Approved, provided that.
yeah, and if the owner doesn't agree to remove those two tables, we're gonna recommend to DOT that the whole thing be denied. Okay?
Well understood.
Okay.
Quick question. Can I ask a quick question? So they're going to remove the two tables by the pull box, and that would become a place for the servers to walk around the corner. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within the
Thank you.
boundaries.
Awesome. Thanks.
So
Okay.
motion.
Motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? Present not eligible? Our last item that's passed, and it's 9:35.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
pessimistic. All
I
right.
was.
Thank you. And if you could call me this week, that'd be great.
Bert, we're going to miss you. You're trying to move
All
on.
right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.